Good afternoon everyone and welcome back. First of all, I apologise for any radio that you can hear in the background. We're not quite sure where that's coming from, and it appears that our cables are being a giant aerial, so we can all listen to local radio whilst we're listening to the commentary. Sorry about that. Your commentators will be on air shortly, and they will be Chris Clark and Stu Smith, and hopefully they're on their way over to the booth. Right, enjoy your croquet watching.
Good afternoon, Chris. I appear to have lost the laptop. As you know, the sign-in password for it. I've got nothing to tell me either way.
Right. Well, good afternoon. Turned into a gorgeous day, hasn't it, Stu?
Oh, it's a lovely day today. After the day we had yesterday, today really is bright sunshine.
It was
T-shirts
really,
everywhere.
Yeah, cool, pouring with rain, and today it's just the absolute opposite. And we've got quite an interesting match here between Noha and Maha. So Noha had quite a strong start to the tournament, and has just recently dropped a match to Begonia, I think.
Yes, she did. Yeah, she started on Lawn 1. It was sort of the opening live stream game of the tournament. She looked very, very strong in that game.
And Maha, the opposite. I think she lost the first two matches, and now she's just got on the board.
Yes.
So both still in contention. Noha in quite a strong position. Maha trying to fight her way back. Should be a competitive match. I do think Noha is stronger from what I've seen so far.
I agree. From what I've seen so far, she's her shot range is, I think, is just a little bit stronger here.
And this is Maha playing blue and black.
That's Maha to start. So obviously the critical first shot in.
Lawns have recovered quite nicely after that heavy rain, just starting to pick up speed again.
Yes, yeah, it was starting to slow down quite significantly yesterday, and the players were finding it difficult to find their distance and their range. It should be a little bit easier to predict. Once the sun comes out and they dry out, it should be a little bit more consistent rather.
So blue plays short. Red's just made sure it got past it, so it can only be cleared to a short boundary. And now black needs to take good position.
Would you have perhaps considered playing red a little bit deeper there?
I don't actually.
No?
I try and force blue to clear me.
Okay.
At the early stage of the game, what I'm wanting to do is force red to hit 7-yarders from boundaries. Most of the players don't have huge levels of power, so if you get cleared, you're still probably within 10 yards.
Yes, yeah.
It's a different game to knowing you may be 20 yards away after that 7-yard clearance. So
you're playing to your opponent's strengths or weaknesses, so to speak.
Correct. Early on in the match, I want to test them out with these 7 and 8 yard clearances. And remember, it's not just hitting them. You've got to hit them in the middle or 3/4 ball.
Yes.
Lots of these guys, maybe hit quarter ball, and that's enough to win a hoop for the opposition. Your ball disappears into the middle of nowhere, and that's a lovely shot with yellow. So many of these games can be won with good positional play and just solid, not brilliant, just solid hoop running.
Yes, yeah. The strength of positioning is you can't understate it. We can't overstate it.
I think this is an attempt at the jaws, a little bit hampered by the black ball. I think she'll probably just try and nudge into the jaws. Oh, she's actually gone full-blooded at it.
Yes. Yeah, I'm surprised at that, to be perfectly honest.
Looks like she's blocked red at the hoop, and I think red will probably clear black if yellow's still open on the hoop.
The little hoop wiggle or hoop test suggests
it's open.
Yeah, the hoop's the decision.
And I'm a big fan of taking on straightish hoops with the Atkins. If you can just get straight in front of them, a smooth hoop shot will go through. And I want to hit this with 20 yards worth of pace.
Yes.
It's not going to be skidding when it gets to the hoop if you hit it smoothly with that. And it's got a chance of getting up to hoop 2. No need to smash it off the north boundary.
No. Just a little bit of ball control. Again, perhaps try to go at it just a little bit hard.
Yeah, these are soft ground conditions we're playing, and we had heavy rain Saturday, heavy rain yesterday, and despite that it's hit the middle of the line, it's bounced 5 yards away.
It has.
So nice easy clearance, black on yellow, and just doing what I mentioned earlier. I would have liked to have seen yellow reach the boundary there.
Yeah, but again it proves the point you're saying, that these players are not necessarily hitting it hard enough to clear their opponent a long way. So it does make each hoop interesting because nobody's too far away all the time, so there's always a chance to come back and make the clearance coming back the other way. It's a good idea to try and use a bit of furniture or your partner ball as much as you can if you feel you can't clear her any further away.
That's a good pace she hit that at, not full clearing pace. And when, again, I mentioned yesterday, when you're playing from boundary into the lawn, you're normally a mid-pace clearing.
Yes.
And when you go from in-lawn to the boundary, you really want to be hitting it with some power.
Yes, because you can only go so far the other side, can't you?
So that's nice positional shot. And I think here we'll see red play in. And it wants to ideally not to be clearable by black, but also not to block yellow at blue.
Yes,
that's
that would be unfortunate to find herself blocking. That's tight. It's hard to tell from this angle. It looks like black maybe had a see red there.
And this is good play by Noha. It isn't yellow's turn to play, but she knows that there's a chance that black may play in to block yellow at blue.
Yes.
So move it into where you want it before black plays.
Yes, that's nice to offer your opponent the visual side of knowing where you're going to play from.
Yeah.
That's a nice sort of honest thing to do, really.
Yeah, black could have easily finished in between that, and then you need a referee to go and move all the balls.
Yes.
It gets messy, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah. It's nice to see that sort of honesty and that sort of games and playing nice with each other.
That's the first miss.
There's perhaps a little option, a possibility of an in-off there, using clearing blue and having it tuck yellow into the hoop.
Yeah, so we've seen a failed hoop shot and a failed 6-yard clearance, and it sort of goes back to what I was saying. At the start of the match, why not give your opponent the chance to miss?
Yes, yeah. We just show, when the players are not warmed up, anything can happen. So yeah, I get that thinking.
There's plenty of time to go through your gears as the match progresses.
Yes.
But there's nothing better in a World Championship block than just to start cruising through, playing only the difficult shots when you have to.
It would be ideal. You don't want to keep having to pull off worldies all the time. Just ask the referee to come on. We've been trying to promote players to tighten the hoops themselves in this tournament, unless it's too much, and then ask them to then call the ref to knock it in for them. So.
They're actually holding up remarkably well, given it's day 3 and soft ground.
Yes, yeah. I haven't seen the mallets come out too often, which is definitely a good sign. Obviously that's a big advantage with the quad-waist hoops as well. They stay firmer for longer, even on the softer ground.
Yeah, nice pace she hit that at. Took quite a lot of wire, but a little bit less wire, it would have been all the way up to hoop 2 nicely.
Yes.
Even so, it sort of, almost reached the peg. And yeah, nice pace of hoop shot. We can see the flags from our position, and they're just still on at the moment. There's not a breath of wind. And the sun's really starting to come through.
Yeah, it's a very bright day today. It's nice. It is nice. Makes this venue look even better in the sunshine.
And that type of shot with red, I think as we go through the tournament, the people who can improve upon that and get red 4 to 5 feet closer are going to be the ones that are really going to be pressurising the opponent.
You would be disappointed having a straight run to the hoop and find yourself dropping that much short.
Yeah, it's sort of, it hasn't even got the level of hoop 6, has it?
No. You'd expect yourself to be getting within a couple of feet, really.
And again, if you can play in from here and get wide from black, then you're really starting to control the hoop, and I think she's underhit that.
So black has a view of yellow. So what will we do here, Chris? Do we go for red and take red out of the equation?
No, red's too far away. Just play in, try and get it about the same level as yellow from distance, and maybe put it 2 balls to the right of yellow.
Okay, aiming to get a chance of a block as well on the hoop. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not worried about red taking the hoop on.
Okay.
That's not going to be what the Egyptian players are looking for here.
Okay.
They're going to be looking for gradual control, and I don't want blue finishing as close to red as it actually has.
No.
Because they're good at stop shot control. She's actually lost that one a wee bit. I expected a more middle contact,
yes,
and red to finish on the playing side of the hoop.
Yes, yeah. Well, obviously your knowledge of the Egyptian play and Egyptian style is far outweighs mine. So I shall take your advice on their style and their play.
Yeah, the ladies are always looking for control at a hoop. Soha probably a little bit less. Soha will be more positive and take a more aggressive line of play.
I have seen Soha. If she can see the hoop within a relative distance, she's more than happy to take it on. Obviously, she is the top-seeded Egyptian lady in this, or Egyptian woman in this. I did think I'd see a little bit more aggressive sort of hoop running, but I'm being proved that sort of ball control is far more what they're aiming for.
Yeah. Gone for a gentle clearance on that. Hasn't managed to get it. I think I might have tried to hit that maybe with 3 or 4 more yards of pace. You're more likely for the ball to go straight and more likely to move it a distance if you only hit it half ball.
Yes, it did look like the ball wandered just a little bit on approach then, because how gentle, obviously hitting it so gently, it will take the the deviation in the lawn a little bit more. It did look like it wandered off ever so slightly. Obviously, he was just hoping to move yellow off the hoop line and keep her ball close by, with black being where it is.
It's missed both balls.
Unfortunately, that's missed. Very nearly hit me instead.
And an interesting choice here. You could just run the hoop, but she's got this sort of half ball, 3/4 ball, left-hand side contact on blue.
Yep.
To get over towards hoop 3 with yellow.
Yes. The disadvantage with this is you do give your opponent a go at clearing your ball in front of the hoop, but with plenty of distance.
And she's hit it too thin. So now blue's got an easy clearance. I mentioned a similar position. I think we were both on commentary yesterday. And in that case, I didn't want her to clear because she could run the hoop and get 2-0 up.
Yes.
There, she could get back to 1-all and get potential to break at 3.
Yes.
So I thought that was the right shot then.
Yeah, the shot was. It's just unfortunate. It was the right shot. Just unfortunately, she didn't hit it in the right place. Didn't make the right contact with the opponent's ball. But it was the right. You're right. It's the right idea. Looking for that second bonus, sort of part of the shot. Really.
And there were two options for the red ball there really. You could play wide towards the boundary, so blue couldn't clear you very far, or you could play very deep, as she has done with red, to say, I'm in front of the hoop, but I'm miles away from blue, and it's going to be quite a tough clearance for blue.
Tough clearance, and if at the very least it'd be tough for blue to hang around if he wants to have a five at blue.
Yeah, and the Egyptians tend to play this deep straight position, and I, over the last sort of decade, have encouraged the New Zealand players I coach to take the wider position. So there's quite a difference.
So what would you put the difference is, the bonus between on coming wider than it is coming deep?
Well, the bonus of coming wide is even if they play a really good clearance, it's still going to finish on the side boundary, quite close near. The advantage of red is red can run the hoop from where it is. Now, if you go wide, you can't be cleared very far. If you go straight, well, blue could have had a 7-yard clearance, and as the standard gets higher and higher, red could have finished off the south boundary.
Yes, yeah. So the benefit from red where it is likely to get a shot at the hoop, or potentially a shot at the hoop.
Yeah.
The other option is you're always going to be somewhere near to clear the next ball.
It was a decent effort.
Yeah, it was a decent effort.
And a nice positive line of play. It was legitimate to clear black. Black is in front of the hoop. Black's now got the same scenario we saw earlier. Black could clear yellow, couldn't it?
Yes, yeah. We're in an almost identical position really here. Plus yellow's a little bit straighter, which would make the cut a little bit more difficult. But
my view is, because black and blue are 1-0 up, I want black to run the hoop. I want to take the 2-point lead.
As you said before, you'd expect to take the 2-point lead and go from there. Yeah. I think with the yellow being so straight would be the preferred option from here anyway. If there's a little bit more of a chance of cutting that yellow and getting black a lot closer to 3, it may still be worth the risk, but I think it is a little bit straight. We see on that occasion the player opted to tighten the hoop herself. Just returning for the stalk. Didn't feel comfortable on that approach.
And to me, that's one of the better techniques I've seen this week. So I've been mentioning my bugbear of people who don't stalk the ball. She's gone and stalked it. She hasn't moved her hands down the mallet.
No.
She's stalked it with the hands where she's anticipating getting it. Once she takes her position and her feet and shoulders are right, swings through, nice technique, everything's good.
Yes. So she sets herself, then plays the shot, rather than have that last minute sort of movement that's could potentially affect you being online. You stalk it and then move after you've stalked.
Yeah.
It doesn't really make an awful lot of sense.
So standard position, yellow's played long, blue will play deep. How deep? I like blue there. Lots of people will move it a yard and a half close to the boundary.
Yes, yeah.
There's no danger of the massive power clearance clearing blue to where black is.
No.
That's all sort of 1/8 ball clearance, which you need a lot of power for.
Yeah, just going to push that blue to the boundary, really.
Yeah. So it's a good position for blue.
And look to get red in between, black in between red and hoop.
That's short.
It's slightly short. I can't tell whether it's actually runnable from this position. It looks like it might be jawsable at least.
And again, two options. You can clear, probably half ball on the right, trying to get some distance between it and keep yellow on the north boundary. Or you could drift up and try and snuggle it.
Do we think that blue can see the hoop past that red?
I think it might be open. I don't think they snuggle very much. This is a clearance position.
No, I was thinking if red was in the way, I'd be almost inclined to move black. But if blue can see the hoop, blue's got to move. You get a bit of a cut on it, but
Maintain good control of yellow.
yes, yeah.
And yeah, I just like forcing my opponent to hit 3 or 4 of these every hoop. And if they do, well, we've still got lots of hoops to play in the game.
We have. Even the best miss from this distance now and again.
Now got it. So no longer an easy hoop.
No,
But-
possibly enough of it for Mandua to decide that black might be the better option, but
She's trying to draws this, I think, and because black isn't straight, I like this as a choice. If she can get in the front of the jaws, it's going to be quite strong. Clearing black, the ball that immediately plays back in, is very, very neutral. It's not really gaining very much, whereas the potential positive outcome of this shot is far greater.
oh, well, if you can choose to drift it into the hoop, that's, yeah, most definitely.
Lovely shot. And I like the way she played it. It wasn't that dribble. It was a sort of mid-pace into the far wire.
Yes, yeah.
Let it wiggle.
And certainly with these quadways hoops, that ball does stick quite well when you play it that way into the jaws.
And-
If you try
and-
that little dribble,
Any time you flick the near wire, it can finish feet away, can't
yes,
it? Feet
can,
away.
It can.
So make sure you miss the near wire, get the far wire, and then in these softer playing conditions, you've got a chance of the jaws. And she's played it really well. And the black jump over red is not a strength of these Egyptian players.
I have noticed so far this week, I was surprised, but you're correct. I've seen a few jump attempts that have failed. I don't know whether it's because the Egyptian style isn't to play that way, the Egyptian ladies style, or whether the ground's just a little bit too soft for that ball to get up and over.
No, the ground's nice for jumping. It's the Irish grip.
Oh, okay, so getting the power with the Irish grip.
So she tried to hit that on the extreme right side and move it out of the hoop, rather than take the jump on.
Yes,
And she's missed it completely, and black's now offside.
yes.
I would expect yellow to play south of the hoop, trying to block blue's shot at red, but the other option is to just take hoop position wide from black.
Yes.
So she's gone for, that's the more conservative option. I like yellow being a bit further south, and I've probably hit it 4 yards harder and risked this clearance.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's by no means an easy clearance from here, and the chances are blue's not ending the correct side of the hoop if it does make contact with the red.
So
it does look directly in front, so it should be a straight run to 4.
Yeah, you're obviously trying to get in front of 4. The worst thing you can do is run it into black.
Yes, you certainly don't want to be doing that at this point.
Because that would put black on side again. Whereas anything else, black's going to be banished over to the western penalty spot. But yeah, can you get a good length and direction on this? Length looks okay. Yeah, that's runnable, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. That's a good shot. Good judge of pace. So, presumably looking to put black in somewhere between red and hoop.
Correct. And I think one of the things I talk to players about this shot is know where your misses. You can't finish short here.
No.
You can go long, and it's okay, but don't finish short. And that is not where I want it.
No. No.
Just to explain to viewers why, if yellow plays a really good positional shot and sort of halves the distance that red's got, red's now got a chance of clearing black, potentially wide behind hoop 4, moving red itself over towards hoop 5.
Yes.
As it is, that yellow isn't good enough really.
No. No.
It needs another.
Yeah, it does create that possibility of red working its way to 5 with confidence that yellow's then going to follow up by running the hoop.
So it's always when you're taking position, there's normally a side it's better to miss on, and you need to think, am I better missing short or am I better missing long, and sort of change your range that you're aiming for. So red has a go at the hoop, not easy, but pretty much a free go.
It's a little bit of an angle on it. Confidently stood behind it.
No, that's a good hoop stroke, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a nice hoop run.
So Noha managing to come back after that, losing the first 2 hoop start. Now equalised at 2-all. Another nice positional shot there, and this is going to interest me. I always want to know what each individual player does in this scenario. Are they going to take it out with yellow, or are they going to play yellow in and try and take it out with black? And I'm encouraging most of the lady players I deal with to take it out first ball here.
Yes.
Most of them haven't got the power with red to clear black far enough to justify not taking it out with yellow.
I must admit, I like to take it out of the first ball coming in. Just keep that hoop open. And also, especially when you're playing people of a real high standard, you put your ball in, then regret it because their next ball comes in and blocks your second ball as well.
Yep. And the other thing to mention is how good blue is. If yellow had just taken position, blue could have just taken yellow out.
Yes, yes.
So you might as well have a go at the black. And although she's hit it, it hasn't done her much good. She's only moved it a couple of feet further south. And one of the questions you ask yourself is, at what stage should red and yellow do something a bit more aggressive? And to me, I take the hoop on here.
I think you're correct. I think the same with yellow's finishing where it has, and blue and black so much in command of the hoop. I think you're correct. I think going for the hoop here is the aggressive option.
And there's 2 options. If you're shooting well, just go full pace and shoot at it. But otherwise, you can play mid pace so that if you miss it, you're still onside. Play it with about 4 yards, 5 yards of pace to make sure if it misses the hoop, it's still south of the peg.
Yeah, this certainly looks like she's aiming at hoop from where we're sat.
That's gentle go.
Yeah.
And that was a really good shot.
Good result. So again, as you say, she went for the mid pace, knowing that if she missed the hoop altogether, she weren't going too far away. And if she got it right, there was a small chance of it squeezing its way through that hoop at that pace. But
and now she's actually gaining the benefit of yellow having hit black that extra 1 or 2 feet south, because that's making quite a big difference to the success chance of the jump shot.
yes,
Now let's see. Mallet's not leaning that far forward, and she did well with the height.
she got the height. Definitely got the height.
And
I mean, that weren't far off centre of the hoop, so that didn't miss by a lot. That.
I think Noha will feel the need to shoot at blue. I don't think she'll want blue to have another go at that jump shot. So if your opponent had played a poor jump shot first time around, you might just play to the
Might
peg.
have gone halfway there. Yes,
But that was a sufficiently competent effort that I'm going to shoot at blue.
Again, a nice lengthy stalk.
Then Noha has the sort of Mo Karem hands dropping technique after the stalk.
Yeah,
So-
and also that little shuffle in as well.
Yeah.
On the way in.
Stance is taken, mallet's grounded, all looks good, and then we move the hands down, which I don't particularly like. Struck it well,
Yeah, it's a
nice power,
nice clean strike.
and let's see how go number 2
It's
goes.
hard to tell from here how much that missed by, but it didn't look like it missed by a lot.
This is more angled than the first one, but maybe 1 foot closer as well. That's another pretty good effort,
That was
wasn't
a
it?
good effort.
That was probably no more than 1/8 of an inch away from going through.
And watching your opponent playing jump shots, I mean, I know they both failed, but both were they were both so close. Would that change the way you played?
Yeah, I want to know at what range my opponent can't play a jump shot.
Yes.
And equally, if half the time they're barely getting it off the ground, well, I'm not too fussed about giving them lots of chances to peel me through the hoop.
Yes.
Both of those were legitimate, reasonable attempts, and just goes into your memory banks as to what you're trying to offer them. Red hasn't managed to hold the position at 6 here, so again an interesting choice for black. And it will probably play short here, I think.
Yeah, go just sneak your way past the peg, really. That's ended up far too close to red. Puts all the pressure now on blue. If yellow comes in a reasonable position, all the pressure's onto blue then.
Yeah, I don't like black there. You're offering red the opportunity to clear and stay there.
Yes, yeah.
And yellow's played an okay shot in. Blue's going to play in again.
Just travelled a little bit far. Unless she was trying to get really tight in there. So we're about to find out the problem behind having black quite so close to red.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't think black's going to shoot here.
No, you looking to bring black in and just put the pressure on the hoop shot?
Yeah, simply because black and blue are in a very weak position.
Yes.
Blue, however, does have good control over red. So if black takes hoop position and yellow fails the hoop, Black and blue are in quite good position. Not getting in front puts no pressure.
No pressure at all, so it's a free shot at the hoop. Yeah. But she made the right choice. She's bringing black back in. It's a 14 dot shot.
Not a bad result, really.
It's not, because I'm not so sure. Obviously, blue cannot afford to move yellow here at this point. Black's in a good position to move yellow itself. So we're looking at centre ball, almost stop shot as best you can on the red, keeping blue somewhere near, knowing that black can deal with yellow.
It's certainly a completely valid choice and probably the standard play here. I am looking at where blue's going to finish if it clears yellow through the hoop.
If blue comes in through the back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think it's worth considering because red's hoop is a bit angled.
Yeah. And not knowing how well Moha actually can jump as well herself, so.
If you can play this well with a good stop shot, this is the right option. But if you play it like that, you're in a bit of trouble again.
Yes, yes.
And sometimes on these hoops where you know you're underdog, you've got to allow, like the red in that case, the chance to play a longish angled hoop. So clearing yellow would definitely have been a consideration. I think you're right. If you're playing well, you just hit that clearance in the middle, stay in front of the hoop, and I think that's the right choice.
Yes.
If you're a bit worried that your clearances aren't really working, clearing yellow was valid.
Yes, yeah.
And this is an aggressive line of play.
It is, and she's firing at black.
I thought she'd take position here because blue's gone 8 or 9 yards away.
I think bringing red back in would have been my choice here.
I like seeing people play positive lines.
Oh, there's nothing against positive play.
Lovely shot.
She's got it and
red.
moved away across to 7. So
excellent shot. So you've really got two options with black. You can try and go back through hoop 11 to hit yellow, or you could just try and hit red.
you could, and get yourself on side as well. I mean, you are both going to end up in a similar place if you do. What would you do? Would you sort of say, okay, you can have that one and just worry about hoop 7? Or would you have inclined to have a go here, Chris?
If I was 3-2 up, I'd give her the hoop up. I'm never that keen on being 4-2 down, and I think it was clearable. I'd be hoping if I missed, I hit the hoop and stayed in the vicinity, so I'm not risking my ball finishing near corner 4.
No.
So I might have gone hard to try and clear it and given myself a chance of not being 4-2 down.
Yes.
But at 3-2 up, I would have given up and said 3-all with my play to 7 would be okay.
Yes, yeah.
And blue's deliberately gone deeper than normal there because red's got control being onside.
Yeah, trying to stay away from red a little bit. So. It's quite a difficult choice there really for red, because we know black's coming in aiming to be in a runnable position. And if yellow gets any clearance on blue, it's never going to be that far away from the red. Oh, that's potentially changed it a little bit, because there's something to hide the ball behind now.
Yeah, I think she's got two options. Black and blue are both legitimate choices. As you mentioned, if she now hits blue, there's a chance she hits it over to the boundary and black's blocking the shot at red.
Yes.
Equally, clearing black is completely legit.
Yes.
This is quite neutral. This is throwing a ball in there.
Yep.
I don't like this in this position. I want to do something more aggressive.
Yes, I agree. gone for the block, I think. There.
A bit short.
Short.
About ball and a half short.
I don't think blue can see the hoop. I'm not 100% sure from here. But there's a red's this shot anyway. Obviously.
Yeah, you want to be 3/4 ball on the right hand side. Yeah, that's perfect. Lovely shot.
Blue's on its travels, sort of nearly to halfway.
Yeah, it's a useful blue, isn't
Useful
it?
blue from there, and I don't think red can now see black either. That was a good clearance. That was well played.
And if red can't see black, I want to be somewhere where red can jump black if it finishes in the jaws.
Would you not risk just dropping it short in behind where yellow is there? I know you're bringing yourself a lot closer to blue if you do.
Sorry, Stu, where are you suggesting?
That's what I say, whether as Noha's played, dropping it short just in case that drop in the jaws, with yellow where it is, being that sort of having red as that little defensive ball from behind, it has put red a lot closer to blue.
Yeah, I think blue should be able to clear red from there. Yellow's jump shot is a fraction longer than I would like.
Yes, yeah.
I think potentially from players with a bit more power, yellow's fine. But this is just on the edge of their jumping range, I think, yellow.
I mean, if red's in line, it may stop black advancing too far down the lawn, but I think there is a clear route through, actually. But I have seen players play that short ball to try and protect from behind. That sort of defensive ball. Ah, there you go. So red did stop black travelling all the way down.
It did. Not something I would encourage players to try and do. I think it's low percentage, but she's had a useful result.
Yes. It is a shot I have seen played quite a few times, but you're right, it's to get it in that line as well. The only thing it does do is it sort of puts your opponent off from thinking of just dropping it in the jaws because you've put that ball out there.
Yeah. Now that's a much better positional shot than she managed to hoop to. I'm in a sort of might shoot twice at that.
I think I'd certainly have gone in with blue. Yeah, I've certainly gone at it with blue. Because again, unless the clearance is of more power behind the clearance, yellow's not going to be, now if black hits yellow, it's not going to be too far away from blue now. So by not firing at it, it puts red and yellow far more in control of it.
Yeah, there was no attempt there to block black at yellow. That was simply another ball in front.
Yes.
And it's potentially blocked yellow's hoop as well.
It looks like it may have done from here, actually. I think the intention obviously will be to shift blue anyway. But black now has to make contact with something. Preferably yellow.
Good shot. She's got all four balls.
That's a full clear out.
Being a bit unlucky there. We can't see exactly where red is. It might be tight on the wire. It might be jawsable. It might be runnable. Yeah, looks like you can just about jaws it.
Yes. Obviously, having black sat in behind is not ideal for the jaws at this point.
Well,
so
yellow.
Are we moving black, do we think, or just getting in front? Just get in front. So it's,
if yellow clears black in the middle, it's very strong. Blue then has to clear red. But I think we'll see yellow played to wired position from black.
yes.
And force blue to clear yellow instead of red.
It's almost going back to the shot almost at the hoop before. Black's got at 6. Black's got a good chance to come through that, shifting red and stay itself hoop side.
Yeah. This is no high shooting.
I think she's shooting at, do we think at blue?
I think at blue. So that maybe indicates she thinks she can actually run it.
Yes.
It looked very acute from where she was standing.
Yes. Again, the bonus of hitting this is yellow's going in the right direction too.
I think with that shot and the shot she hit at hoop 6, which I was surprised she took with that long clearance,
Yes.
she's shown that she's got the ability to raise her game, and she's actually playing within herself. And
I mean, that was right in the middle.
it was a lovely shot. And when I'm watching these players, I'm trying to see how much extra have they got that they're able to just produce when necessary. Because a good golf croquet player will play within themselves most of the game, and then will just pull out one or two key shots just at the right moment.
Yes.
And then as the tournament goes on, obviously you need to produce that more often.
Yes. It's
So-
definitely the difference between the sort of the top class players and those around her. If you pull out the big shot when you need it.
Well, let's just see this angle. Is it as acute as it looked at first?
Yeah, you're right, she did sort of stand quite wide when she first had a look at it. Not quite so wide now.
No, it just looks as if it's quite straightforward. A nice firm stop shot.
Would you be looking to potentially hamper Black's route across as well if you could?
That would be nice. I'm just focusing really on making sure I run the hoop.
Yes.
That's just a bonus if you
If
get
you
it.
manage to pull that off.
But yeah, if I was in the middle of the jaws, I'd definitely be trying to roll up onto Black.
Yes, yeah. It's hard to tell just how straight she is.
That's good. And Maha was unlucky with that clearance that moved 4 balls to leave that in hoop running
to
position.
leave that where that was very
and
unfortunate.
and leave Nohara the long clearance that she hit so well.
Well, that's that little bit of croquet, that little bit of luck you need. I mean, croquet is an awful lot of skill, but there is a big pinch of luck involved as well at times.
So going to have a look at Black. I think it's quite runnable this, and I think yellow should clear it.
Yeah, well, I'd certainly go with the first ball to have a. It's your nearest ball, your most likely chance of clearing it. And I also see that blue's on a relative line with red as well, and could possibly put a block in here, almost running down that line, or certainly put something in that will.
So to me that indicates that Nohara doesn't think that Maha can run the hoop with Black.
There's a bit of a sort of a wild positional shot there.
I think she was trying to nudge the Black
You think
a little bit
Yeah,
further.
yeah.
I can't think of any other reason she's played that so deep. But Black's going to take the hoop on here, surely. Jaws is good.
Jaws is good.
When you're 5-3 down, you want the jaws of 9.
It's really hard to tell from here how angled that is.
It must be jawsable. Yes, look at where she is. It's runnable.
Yeah,
it's runnable.
Yeah.
You should be able to jaws this, and that's where you're trying to get to at 5-3 down. And she's gone for the gentle option, and I prefer that slightly firmer one into the far wire.
Yeah.
It's worked quite well, but it's not as good as Nohara managed at hoop 3.
No. Do you think the in-off's possible here with the yellow? Is the yellow wide enough to take the potentially in-off?
I don't think it is. I think I'm just going to go all out for the jump shot here.
Yeah, it does look like she's looking at that as the better option.
She does have another option, which is just to play it flat on the right hand side, as she looks to it.
And try and play off wire
just
onto
clear
Black.
it. Just clear it. A neutral clearance, trying to extend the hoop.
Okay, just sort of cut Black across and out the way.
Don't have to hit it that hard. Keep yellow within play. that's a sort of shot. It's neutral. I like neutral shots. She was losing the hoop, I felt, at the stage.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, obviously, with a good stop shot with blue on red, does put blue back in control, or potentially put blue back in control.
Blue can't get much closer to the hoop than red was.
And it wasn't the greatest of clearances.
If anything, you were wanting to hit it the other side, weren't you?
Yes, you'd want to go the other way.
And now,
because obviously, if blue then goes sort of boundary-wise, red's likely to come back in. Black comes in, blue's there to deal with red. But well, in an ideal world.
Yeah, but yellow would have cleared black before then, you see. So I think it's very neutral, this position.
Okay.
And now it's obviously a little bit favourite to no-har because of that poor clearance. But I do think it shows the benefit of patience.
Yes.
And extending the hoop.
To sort of develop the hoop rather than think it has to be one on this go, on this rotation.
One of the things you should be doing when you're 5-3 up is trying to avoid the opponent running the hoop from in the jaws or dead straight in front.
Yeah, you don't want them gaining advantage at the next hoop.
Yeah, if all you can do is extend the hoop so they eventually run a 2.5 yard 20-degree hoop by 3 yards, well, that's quite a big achievement because you're probably going to be 6-4 up.
Yeah.
So that neutral shot, just to nudge that ball away from in front of the jaws, when you've got the 5-3 lead, is an intelligent play, and she's got the mistake out of Maha now, and it's going to be 6-3. Remember, she was 2-0 down.
Yes, yeah.
This is quite a dominant performance.
So as you're saying, she's just slowly ramping up a little bit.
Yeah, those two really good clearances. The probably 10-yard clearance at hoop 6, followed by a 9-yard clearance at hoop 8. Not as far as she would have liked, but 6-3 lead's a 6-3 lead.
Yes,
isn't it?
yeah.
And no-har's chosen the times in the game that she's wanted to play more aggressively.
Maha's also opted to not try and get anything anywhere near. Opted to snuggle up to the yellow to stop that. Sort of felt hampered, so hampered the yellow.
Yeah, not a bad effort if black couldn't get up there itself.
Yeah.
It's managed to stop yellow getting anywhere near and made sure that Maha still has first play at the hoop.
That's a nice little...
This is a bit far. Just gone.
Yeah, just gone.
Just finished level with it. And again, I play wide out to the eastern side of the hoop.
Yes, keep yourself on the short boundary.
In an ideal world, wide from blue. But certainly, if I don't get the wire, blue can't clear me very far.
No, so this is your perfect idea of sort of putting it wide rather than keeping it deep.
Yeah, the Egyptian players will normally play 5 yards deep, straight in front.
Yeah.
That's even closer.
Yeah, you don't really want to end up that close to blue.
Just a bit too close for my liking.
Yeah.
I had this position at hoop 8 in the Worlds that were held in Cairo, and my blue finish there. I was playing Ahmed El Mahdi, and his deep position was finished dead straight in front of the hoop, but a yard south of the peg.
Yes.
Now, that probably gives you an idea about levels of how people think people can clear at distance.
Yes. Yeah.
But he still chose the deep straight position instead of the wide neutral position. So very much a split between nationality styles.
Yes.
And I'm going to be very interested in 20 years' time to see which of those two options has come out on top.
I do see the Egyptian style they always look to be able to see the hoop. So that if they feel their ball can still see the hoop. I don't see too many times they look to sort of that wired position in and around the hoop either. They just seem to be perfectly happy as long as their ball can see the hoop.
Blue's obviously got a block.
It has. So I'm not 100% sure whether black can see yellow.
I'm not sure about that either. She's taking the jump on. You don't often see this.
No, I'm amazed at that, because obviously just nudging blue to either side. I would have perhaps been my choice at this point.
Again, for the people at home, if you're going to take the clip off the hoop, put it somewhere where the ball can't possibly hit it. Your pocket's a good place, but off the lawn works as well.
Yeah, there's every chance of this ball spinning into that peg from where it is.
So this is quite long, isn't it? This is 3 yards.
Oh yeah, I am amazed she's taken this on. I mean, it does show a sign of confidence, without a doubt, but I did think just pushing blue to one side would have been the better option. But
so as you can see, for the longer jumps, the mallet isn't as much inclined.
No.
And they're trying to get a much flatter jump out of it.
Flat.
Didn't get the jump, got second prize.
Yes. But a show of confidence. She felt, you know what, I'm going to give this a go. Perhaps not a shot she would have taken on if she was 6-3 down. 6-3 up, she felt, you know what, I can afford to have a go at this one.
So she's going to find herself in a similar position here. Oh no, that couldn't get past the wire, and she was trying to play back through the hoop, it looked like.
It did at that point.
And they don't take hoops on from here. They'll always nudge to wired. Try and take the advantage that's been offered them.
Yeah, it's a good tactic, really. I mean, it's a bit, if you're confident with your hoop running, you might think, you know, but there's no need. Just secure the hoop. Just roll in somewhere where black can't see it, and make sure that you're a lot closer for the jump, because black's likely to want to just trickle back into the back of the hoop if it can't get past it.
Yeah, I'm going to play blue at black here, mid-pace, try and
just nick it off.
Yeah, get some sort of movement on it.
It was hard to tell if that's what she actually intended there. It's very difficult from this angle, but it might have been aiming to just move yellow a little. Red's taking that wide position.
That goes back through the hoop. So that's why red's gone there. It gave it the opportunity, if black gets to the position it doesn't like, it could always clear blue.
Yes.
And then black can clear red.
Yep.
If it fancies the jump, it can still take it.
Again, 6-3 down, you probably move blue. 6-3 up. Yeah,
I think it's showing how good the red ball is. She's generated a free jump shot for herself, because all blue can do is clear red to the boundary, and red can still come back and clear black.
Still, yes.
So it's an intelligent placement of the red ball. And I think you'll see her go much more acute on the mallet lean here, because this is a much shorter one.
Yes, don't get the ball up earlier.
Hands down the mallet. Oh, I still want that mallet further forward, actually. I think she's still a bit flat there. That's a bit better. That's a bit better, yeah.
Leant over a little bit more now.
Keep your body weight forward. Nice shot.
Nice, comfortable that.
And that's a
game one.
7-3 win from 2-0 down.
It is. It was impressive. After the first two hoops, just sort of sized her opponent up a little bit, and then just opened the afterburners a little there.
I like looking at these matches and trying to work out how do you beat someone who plays at that standard.
Yes.
And she didn't open many doors there. Maybe the odd positional shot was a yard or two short, but those two clearances, solid hoop running.
Yes.
A nice jump shot at the end. It was the sort of performance you look at and you go, this is probably going to be a quarter finalist.
Yeah. Being able to turn up the gears just to get, I mean, without doing anything absolutely spectacular, but just turn up the gears enough to quite win that quite easily in the end, let's be honest.
Yeah.
So we'll have a little quiet period now while Maha goes and gets herself ready to come back on the attack.
I think one of the things for people watching this at home and looking at the scores as they come through, perhaps yesterday they'll have looked at it and gone, my word, these Egyptians are starting to lose. They're really struggling. Just suggest that you temper that with the weather conditions. Egyptians losing when it's cold and wet is different to when it's warm and sunny.
Yes.
And I think you'll see a stronger performance today from them. There is some more wet weather forecast for the weekend, where we've got quarterfinals and semi-finals. So for the non-Egyptian players, they'll be hoping that wet weather stays. But whilst we get lovely weather like this, the Egyptians are going to improve day by day.
Yes, no, they definitely thrive. Whenever you play an Egyptian, you always pray for rain. You do the rain dance first. Especially with us English, we're used to playing in the rain. Seems to happen far too often.
So just checking around some of the other lawns. I know Jenny won the first against Debbie Lyons 7-6 in a really good, decent quality game, which swung from one way to the other, and they're now off that lawn, so I think Jenny's probably won in straight games. Let's have a look. 7-6, 7-6. So I think that's an idea that both of those players are going to be highly competitive as the tournament progresses.
That leaves Jenny unbeaten, doesn't it?
Yes, Mallet has never lost a game, Stu. It's an unbeaten Mallet.
An unbeaten Mallet.
Again, another big shout out to Dave Trimmer for all the help he's offered.
Jenny's looking very strong.
I don't think she's at her best at all yet. But
no, that's more worrying.
Indeed, you could say it's more worrying. But one thing I did notice in her first game with Debbie was, because we've been working on this power increase, when she actually did hit something, it was increasing the length of Debbie's shot by 4 to 5 yards, and that really does make a difference over a match.
Well, it does increase the possibilities of missing. If you keep on your opponent just a little bit further away every time, it does open up the possibility of the miss coming back.
And again, during the blocks, I always have a look at the people who haven't lost any games, and I'm pretty sure Rachel hasn't lost a game yet.
No, Rachel certainly hasn't.
Sohar dropped a game in the rain to Diana yesterday.
Yes, Diana played really well. To take a game off arguably the favourite for the tournament,
definitely
is impressive. It is
definitely
impressive.
The favourite. Fantastic performance. Diana won both the first 2 matches.
Yes,
and then took that game off Sohar.
I mean, having not played the game for too long, she's not been playing very long at all. I mean, she's quite consistent, showing a lot of consistency.
And then the other player I'm looking at is this number 2 seed, the one I haven't seen before, Amani Hassan. 10 out of 10 so far.
Wow, I haven't managed to see her play yet, I must confess.
She's looked completely solid to me. Look at the scores of her opponents against her. 3-1 against the number 2 seed, Garda Karam.
Wow.
4-1 against Jane Stevens, and we both know Jane's a solid, consistent performer.
Yes.
Dallas, I know from New Zealand, is constantly in the game, putting you under pressure. Won 2-2 against Dallas. 4-1 against Lynn Piercy, and the person who actually put her under pressure was the number 6 seed, Helena Janssen.
Wow, well done, Helena.
So 4-6 against Helena.
Yes, yeah.
But Amani definitely looking strong.
That is impressive.
Maram's dropped a couple of games. Didn't look on top form to me.
Were those games dropped during our awful weather yesterday, or?
One of them was.
Yeah.
I think the first one was dropped on Monday, when it wasn't quite so bad. She dropped the first game to Pamela Barnwell.
Okay.
Maybe just settling in there, or maybe just a good performance by Pamela. I didn't see the game. No. But we're back live again, and Maha has played a nice blue to good hoop running position, and red's taken even better position, and black's gone straighter, So it's not guaranteed blue will take the hoop on. It might clear red.
No, I'd like to think that we'll be positive and see blue having a go at the hoop.
I hope so as well.
So I think yellow has to have a go at the blue.
Yeah, I'm definitely shooting every time here.
I'm not so sure that the coming up to the yellow means a shot here.
No, he's dribbling in. And just as you said, I want blue to take the hoop on here.
Yes. You know, if you want to get back into a game, having lost game 1, you need to sort of look for that positivity.
And this is too neutral to me. You need to hit this at least quarter ball up to us.
Yes.
And hitting it just off centre to 11 yards away isn't good enough, really.
It's not. I mean, there is a distance now with the clearance, and Black's obviously in a good position in front of the hoop. But I'd like to have seen a bit more positivity there, looking to take this game on. I'd like to see her go at the hoop there, really.
From Noha's point of view, she's clearly knows the opponent better than we do.
Yes.
And she's gone, why would I shoot from all the way down by corner 4 when I think I'm probably going to get an 11 or 12 yarder next turn?
Yes, yeah.
So she's taken the right tactical choice.
Because she knows the opponent better than we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's missed it, unfortunately.
So it's not miles easier than the shot she turned down with blue, but it is a fraction straighter.
And less danger because red isn't sat there to mop up.
Correct. But she had to concede that not long clearance, and it would have put Noha well in the hoop had she managed to clear that black.
Yes. So a nice confident,
That's very good.
Nice.
Nice to see someone run it past the peg, still short of hoop 2.
So yellow here looking to get as tight as possible. So you can get a good judge of pace here and sit herself with a foot in front would be lovely.
Now at the Worlds last year, these approaches to 2 and 3 were getting a bit fast, but now they're just lovely moderate pace lawns, and you can get really tight positions.
It's a nice speed of lawn for control.
Again, that's one I don't shoot twice at, because black's actually not far away from yellow.
No.
So if you can get a good blue in there, black ought to be quite confident of hitting the yellow.
Yes.
Another win for Diana Wilson on lawn 2. Fantastic start to the event.
Was that in 2 or 3, that one?
I think it was in straight games, but I'm not 100% sure.
No. Well played, Diana.
So now we get the black at yellow, and you're just trying to hit these in the middle. If you're lucky, you hit it on the right and it's wired from blue.
Yes.
If you're unlucky, you rush peel it.
Yes. Players just having a look at the spectators and asking just to pipe down just a little bit.
It's interesting, it's always your fellow countrymen you hear the best, isn't it? And
it is.
Manal's over there having a bit of a chat, and you recognise the voice, don't you?
Yes, you do. Seem to pick them out the crowd.
Good shot.
So she did get left hand side rather than the bonus of the right hand side, but got a good solid contact on that.
And I'm going to be interested here as to whether yellow just plays back in and says, actually, this blue's quite angled.
Yeah. Again, as you say, knowledge of your opponent here. The position suggests this. Yeah, you're right. She's going straight back in. no thought of trying to clear blue whatsoever.
And I would have cleared blue.
I personally think I would have cleared blue because I think this blue should be. It is a little angled, but I'd like to think they'd be able to run this hoop 9 times out of 10.
That's near wire again, and she's gone for the jaws.
Yes. Yeah.
And if you're going to go for the jaws, you can hit it more firmly than that and make sure that you take the near wire out of play.
Well, again, I am very surprised that was the shot of choice. But again, as you say, it shows Mohan knows her opponent, knows what Mohan's going to actually do, and played accordingly.
Did you win? I did. Yes. Congratulations.
It's almost a free shot of the hoop. Was quite a way wide, that one. Took a lot of the outside wire.
And I think it's one of the differences I've tried to highlight between all the Egyptian players, the men included, and the more AC players. The AC players will fail the hoops, but they'll never hit the outside of the wire from 3 yards away. They'll hit it into the middle of the wire, or they'll bounce out, having almost run it, but they'll never hit the outside of the wire from 3 yards. It's a more consistent swing that's developed. Missing in AC is terminal, it's the end.
Yes.
Whereas at GC you can come back from missing something by 3 yards, it doesn't matter, you can still new hoop, next hoop.
So the hoops tend to be run smoother with less pace, just try and guarantee that hoop, not worry about how far they go through the other side.
Yeah, and had Noha run that, I was going to highlight that as soon as the Egyptian players start running 3 yard hoops, then you need to be really scared of them, because their main weakness is hoop running. Obviously there's jump shots as well, but they're really generally very good at positional play, at stop shot clearances, controlling the back ball, at tactical options around hoops, and they're going to generate lots of really strong positions because of that. And when you're playing them, you need to be forcing them to take on 3 yard hoops, because that's where you're going to be better than they are.
Yes.
And if it sorry, just stopping there while Noha plays red in. If you can change it into a hoop running battle, then you've got a genuine chance. And I know you're going over to Cairo for the Egyptian Open and
yes,
England v Egypt Test match after.
Yes.
And that's certainly an element where we can compete with them. If we can run some nice 4 or 5 yard hoops against them, obviously they're more used to Egyptian hoops with the massive long wires, get hammered down into sandy ground, so they'll be more at home with those than any type of other hoop, but particularly quadways.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah,
We'll try and get ourselves in a hoop running battle with them, gives us half a chance.
yeah, I do think so, yeah.
It's definitely going to be interesting. It's a different type of test. It's amazing when you play the different nationalities and you see, obviously, there's a lot of similarities. I mean, the Spanish, for example, they all play a very, very similar way as well. They're all very steady, and a lot of their swing and their shot processes are all very similar. Same with the Egyptians. You can tell, they look at each other and they all seem to follow the same shot process. Obviously having to clear red here, clear black. A slim chance of finding the red in the jewels. I think it's just all out distance.
That's another one nailed in the middle.
Yeah, right
You
down.
know, that is starting to look quite good, isn't it?
It is. Just winding up a little bit.
And the power there was very acceptable, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah. I mean, she couldn't have got it much further away. Obviously cleared the boundary line.
I think if she'd hit it 3/4 ball on the left, it would have got to the east boundary. So, nice play.
It just shows she's got the power in the bank when she needs it, and accurate with it.
Almost got the double clearance.
Yes, I didn't look at that, to be honest, whether red ended up on the blocking line. Whether red was just hit accidentally or whether red was actually
I think it was
in the
probably
line.
accidental.
Yes.
She would have been likely to give up, I think, otherwise.
Yeah, I think you're correct. I didn't really see whether red had finished on that line or not, so you're probably correct. It's probably just a miss hit coming back across.
Certainly Maha's consistency at over the 7-yard range has looked at least half a ball worse than Noha.
Yes. So, for 1-all, quite a routine hoop. Just off centre.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah. So looking for that strong positional shot now at 3.
And this is where game 1 started to go wrong for Maha.
It
She
was.
failed to get position at 3, and that's a fraction short. Again, similar to game 1, it's jawsable, but it's not one you fancy running past the peg, is it?
No, so where do you put red then, Chris, at this point? If you think you've gone and had a look at that and think, you know what, it's likely to tuck blue in the jaws here.
I definitely want red to be past blue, so it can only clear it to the short boundary, and I would like it to be in a position where if blue jaws is, I can jump. Jenny had this position the other day and she played red 4 yards deep straight, and I said to her, that's not where I want you,
No.
because when blue jaws is, I don't want you having to play a 4-yard jump shot. If you've got a 2-yard jump shot, I'm comfortable, but
Yes.
4 yards is starting to get out of your comfort zone.
Would you risk putting the red a lot closer to blue to give blue the option of just moving you rather than trying that little tuck into the jaws?
Yep. I don't mind giving blue a stun clearance there.
No, you don't want it in the jaws, do you? Let's be
No.
honest.
A little stun clearance forcing me to hit a 7-yarder back. I can get into a neutral position fairly quickly again there.
Yes, yeah. So Mara happy to come in here knowing that red's not going far away no matter what, but has left the option of blue trickling in the jaws.
Yeah, that's a weak yellow. That's probably a good 4 feet short.
Yes.
Isn't
yeah.
really threatening to run the hoop.
No.
And I think blue will probably fancy trying to have this wibble into the jaws again.
Yes, yeah, with both red and yellow so far off the jump line, really, it's worth finding the jaws now. If yellow would have been runnable in the middle.
The neutral line of play is blue clears red to the boundary,
Yes.
but
But
I like the jaws here.
Yeah, I mean, Moha's been hitting her clearances pretty central, and she's not got far to come for that black.
Did well with the blue,
Yeah,
kept it nice and close.
Yeah, held on
so-
to it, held on to its position. I think it's not quite on line.
And I
I think
mentioned
you can see black.
yesterday, when you're playing from the boundary in lawn, these are mid-pace. Don't go all out power at these. These are just
No.
moving both balls 4 or 5 yards is fine.
Yeah, you need to keep red close by. Red has to finish close by. that's what she's gone. It was perhaps a little bit above mid-pace,
Yeah, I would say it's probably overhit by about 4 yards.
Yeah.
Obviously, it always looks bad when you just flick it.
Yes. Yeah.
If that had hit 3/4 ball, we might be saying, oh, what a good shot it was, but maybe just a few yards overhit. And I think yellow will try and clear black.
I think she needs to clear black here because red's got a long way to go to move the black.
She is actually open on the hoop, I think. So
Would you go hoop there then?
I would try and keep this neutral and I'd just clear black. Not too hard.
I mean, just sneaking past black and dropping in the hoop with the yellow as well is a difficult shot from there.
It is.
As would be the other option.
Although, if you get it, arguably black's a bit close for the jump
Too
shot.
close for the jump, yes.
Blue would have the option of hitting black behind the hoop as a way to get yellow out.
It would, but it also takes the hoop run away from blue and black as well if she played that shot. Because blue wouldn't end up in front and black would end up behind.
I think if you can hit this 8th ball, which is what she was trying to do, I think she was trying to just flick it and hit yellow onto the wire.
And use the hoop to stop the
And
yellow
just stop
disappearing.
it, yeah, and she's just fractionally undercut it. So that's a good shot. That looks like it's probably wired from the yellow, and red's almost certainly going to have to shoot at that.
Yeah, I think she's just gone to have a quick look. The reaction suggests that you're right. We'll soon see by whether we get the stalk to red would suggest that she's having to fire.
And many people underestimate how important those shots are. Just moving it 3 or 4 yards, but getting the exact stopping point so you've got an easy hoop and they can't hit you.
Yes. Just composing herself. So it's definitely the clearance shot going here. You'll see from this point, she does a little stalk and there's a little shuffle forward, make sure she's staying on line. And then tries to get that firm body position before she plays the shot. Unfortunately, that's sailed on by. So
And choices with the black. If we assume yellow can't hit blue, just playing halfway, you can actually start to think about more than that. So if you decide, no, I don't need to put black in front, I'm going to play black halfway, go and look at a point on the lawn that blocks red approaching hoop 4.
but going straight in,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. Make red come wide either way.
But clearly she thinks yellow's got an edge of blue, and she's putting a safety valve in, making sure black's still in control, yellow's giving up.
Yeah, I don't think she could see a lot of that.
Again, yellow not just trying to get onside, but putting it between hoop 3 and hoop 4, so potentially blue might run into it.
Yes, yeah. Stop it. Try and stop any advances of blue at 4. So, 1.5 for 2-1.
This length looks a bit hard.
But always the danger of that is always gives your opponent somewhere to hide.
It does. So red not just playing in front, but erring on the western side,
Yes.
just to maybe get that wire from blue.
I do see an awful lot of players that are quite happy to run the hoop at pace, running off the boundary behind the next hoop. I always thought that it just gives your opponent somewhere to hide.
It does, and for people who potentially aren't the best clearers in the world, and I never regarded myself as brilliant, I'm not keen on having a 9-yard shot back that I know I need to smash out of its brain.
Yeah.
I'd much rather have a ball floating within 4 yards of the hoop.
Yeah, it's a shot I've never really understood. Never really understood why people are happy just to smash it through the hoop and send it off the boundary, the back boundary.
Yellow will try and take quite tight position here.
It's under hit a little bit, I think. In fact, it's run into red.
Yeah, I think she was trying to get yellow between blue and red and halve the distance of a hoop shot,
Yes.
which would have killed two birds with one stone. As it is, she's given choices here, and what we've seen throughout the match is Maha doesn't want to shoot.
No.
She doesn't want to extend her swing.
No, she hasn't put many clearances into the game. It's hard to tell whether we can get a mallet on the red. So she's gone for that sort of, not bothering shot, as I sort of like to call it, just wants to bother the hoop runner. Just double checking to see if she can get a clear mallet on the red to move black.
Yeah, I think she's open on the hoop.
Yeah, this is a hoop shot. That stalk in suggests hoop shot.
I mean, it might simply be a stun clearance on blue, but I think this is a hoop shot.
I think it is, but like I say, with that, she just tends to just come back a little bit further on her stalk before she plays anything like a good hard solid strike.
Yeah.
Yes.
A very nice
I'm not
shot.
sure there was any wire at all in that.
Very, very good.
Certainly didn't hear any contact.
So back to 2-all. Again, I have mentioned it before, but after each of these hoops has been won or lost, it's very rare to see either the hoop winner or the hoop loser having bad balls. Offside balls haven't been a feature of this game,
No,
have
it
they?
hasn't. They haven't had to have a long march into the far corner to go and fetch anything. You know, even to try and play into the next hoop from some vast distance. They've always been around and about. I never really spotted that. Well spotted.
And again, that's last game. She tried to clear black.
Yes.
Now, not only has she decided not to clear it, she's blocked red's shot at it.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think this is now a big advantage for this hoop to Maha, and I think red has to play gently at the hoop and try and jaws like it did.
If it can work its way through, yeah. It's hard to tell whether it's got a route through to the jaws from this angle, but
Nudging yellow up to black. That would have been second prize.
yeah. Good effort.
Last time Maha turned the hoop down. This time she's once again turning it down. We both think this is wrong, don't we?
Yeah, I do. I'd like to see her running the hoop here.
It's even worse if she's blocked blue's hoop attempt, because
And especially with Maha hitting her clearances so well at the moment, having a hoop shot is golden.
yeah. So this could be another gentle go at the hoop.
Possibly. I'd like to think I'd be going at blue here, but
That was a firm go at the hoop,
oh, it was a firm go at the hoop.
which we haven't seen many of those.
No, again, that's a surprise.
And blue will clear red.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And then after what we were saying about not taking the hoop, and then she's going to have generated herself a hoop run with very little threat.
yeah.
Oh, that
sure.
isn't the best of clearances.
No,
that
she's
one.
overcut it, so the distance is less, and
Yes.
she hasn't got the wire.
No.
I had anticipated that would probably finish wide and Noha would give the hoop up and play onside, but this is only 11 yards, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. It's definitely worth a go at this one. If you do glide on by and miss, admittedly you're going right to the south boundary, but you've got a straight run to 6. You're not trying to come into 6 from an angle, so it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, good shot.
Oh, it was a good shot. I'm not 100% sure she hit that perfectly clean. There was a little bit of bounce on the way to the ball.
Interesting. One of the things I used to do when I was playing at Southwick is when a train came, I used to just stop.
Just hold fire, yes. Yeah.
I really liked hearing the mallet hit the ball. It gave me a lot of feedback. So I would have just stopped as that train was going by. But anyway, it's a good shot. Red's flicked off and got control of the south boundary. And
yes.
To be fair, that black's not great, is it? She's already refused to run a hoop.
She has a fish from almost that exact position. So, again, a good positional shot here from yellow. With Moha being, again, quite confident with her clearance shots.
Yeah, it's a tough shot, this, from corner 3, though, isn't it?
To drop it runnable is a tough shot.
And the fact it bounced before will have taken a little bit of pace off it.
But it's ended lovely.
Oh, it's perfect.
Ooh.
Well,
that does make clearance on black a little bit more difficult. But we also know that Maha is not so keen on taking hoops on if she feels it's not a guarantee.
I don't think Red's shooting at black here.
I'm not 100% sure it needs to. You're a little bit further over there. Can black see the hoop?
Black can definitely run.
It can run, yeah.
I think you're quite likely to see Red take 3-yard position here.
Yeah, I think with the way Maha's sort of refused the last few hoops when she's had a chance, I think you might be right. She's more likely to sort of stun clear yellow here, I think, than she is giving the hoop a go.
Yeah, that's that 3-yard position. Knowing after black clears yellow and yellow plays back in, blue can only clear you a certain distance.
I'd like to see her surprise us here, though, and have a go at the hoop,
Good.
to be honest.
I would as well. It was easier last time because she didn't have a ball to put her off by the side of it.
But perhaps she's realised that the next rotation of balls is not necessarily in her favour as she stands, so it's worth a go.
Near one.
Okay.
But going back to the shot, she hit it at the right pace. It was a positive hoop shot.
Yes.
And that's what I encourage everyone to do. If you fail them, don't worry about it. Just keep playing the right shot. You'll get better at them over time.
Yeah. Positivity.
Yeah. And again, I think this is way too negative. I want to know how to run the hoop.
Yes, I am amazed. I mean, she's been hitting so well.
And when you're starting to play people like Rachel, Jenny, the top players, Judith's obviously here, ex-world champion. You've got the women's AC world champion here, Debbie Gabrielle, the runner-up. There's the whole range of top non-Egyptian players here.
Yes.
They're going to punish you over time if you don't take that first shot.
Yes. I like to think when you're playing somebody of a high standard, you don't get that many views of the hoop.
No.
So confidently run that hoop when you get your opportunities.
So she's been a bit lucky there. She's run hoop 12 and finished dead in front of 5. I'm just wondering
whether yellow can see any of that blue.
Yeah.
You see that suggests that we might be going for another jump here. Looks like Mars decided that although red can obviously push blue to one side, ideally she'd like to just nudge red in and use yellow to clear blue. But if yellow can't clear blue, she feels their only chance of winning this hoop now is actually, I believe, to jump over the blue, but I could be wrong.
I would be tempted to play gently into blue. We're assuming that your red can't see the hoop.
Yes, it was very difficult from this.
If you can see the hoop, just run it.
Yes. Well, she's not moved her feet to suggest jump, so she obviously has got a clear view. It is very, very difficult to tell from here. Oh, okay. 40.
And nothing wrong with that. If you've got an open hoop, go and give it a go.
No.
We're assuming yellow's got at least half of blue to be able to clear it.
Do you think that she wouldn't have taken on the hoop if yellow could see blue though?
If yellow can't see blue, I'm not sure she would have taken the hoop on. I still think it would have been fine to do so.
Yes, yeah. Again, I like the positivity. Just as a question
The shot I was sort of going to point out was maybe just nudging blue to not running, holding red into running position.
And sort of passing blue over to yellow.
Correct, exactly.
Yeah.
That was playable. So let's see what Noha has got of the blue ball here. Can she hit half of it and cut it out towards corner 1? Or can she hit the middle and maybe get a double clearance?
It definitely looks like she can see it, obviously with the lining up. Lost control of yellow a bit, which suggests she couldn't see it. She could only see part of the ball.
It suggests to me that either she was going for the double clearance or the quarter ball clearance long way away, because she really wanted to keep that yellow near the hoop. If all she was going to do was hit it almost in the middle, hitting it half that pace would have done the job just as well.
Yes.
And that
does look like a good block.
Well, I was thinking it looked like an opportunity or a double clearance. I think it's too close to black for my liking.
It's definitely too close to black. The advantage here is for the double clearance, red is going to be moving off the line of the hoop.
It is.
And there is half a chance of blue sticking and staying as well if she gets
it too central.
Too central, yes.
But that's what she's lining up.
It is, yeah. Yeah. It's a powerful shot from there if she gets it right. I mean, just dropping in front of the hoop is not beneficial for there with blue and black so close.
Lovely shot.
Yes, lovely control.
The downside is blue and red are too close together.
Yes, a good black back in now will require yellow to do something a bit special to. So this ball back in now is key for this hoop, I think.
And when you're playing these double clearances, always try and visualise where you're expecting the 3 balls to finish. And you don't want the ball that plays before you to finish near your ball.
No.
Again, that is a poor black, isn't it?
It's a poor black.
That hasn't put enough pressure on.
No, that could have really taken control of that hoop. With a good black in there, with blue being so close to red, could have really taken control of this hoop.
She's done well there. That's a nice shot.
Yeah.
Didn't go for full out distance on red, but kept good back ball control and has got blue potentially blocking yellow, but certainly in a good hoop running position.
So would you look at bringing red back in, clearing blue, trying to block black on yellow?
I'm going to clear blue here.
Clear blue?
I think black can clear yellow close to corner 1.
Yes.
And why turn down a 7-yard clearance and maybe have a 15-yarder next turn?
Yes. Yeah. I think we might be attempting the block here. It might be what she's gone for. It doesn't look like it's made it.
So I think black can clear yellow not a million miles away from corner 1.
No.
Towards our camera position. And yellow's then going to be faced with quite a long clearance.
Yes, so as you say, refused the sort of 7 or 8 yard clearance and gone for one twice as far. Potentially.
That's good.
Yeah.
So move towards corner 1, just finished 3 yards short of corner 1. But it's a good 13-yarder.
So might be regretting not taking the shorter clearance on now. But she has been clearing well, so we'll see if she can find this one.
Got it. Got enough of it as well.
Definitely got enough.
And Maha has often tried to play a ball inside here. I don't think she's got the angle though to get past the hoop and get the block.
No. The potential of trying to sneak through the back of the hoop, but I think this is just
she'll
a straight
clear.
clearance, isn't it?
Yeah. And a really good one to hit dead centre.
It's the massive bonus for hitting this straight in the middle.
No.
Cut it again.
Now all the advantage moves back to Noha.
Yes, it does.
And it looks such a strong position for Maha as well. But one clearance hit and the other one not hit in the middle means red has first play to the hoop.
It just shows the importance. I mean, Mohar's obviously clearance didn't hit the middle, but moved it enough, and just shows that even though Mahar's clearance wasn't in the middle, just the difference. The strength of hitting that in the middle and staying in front. And unfortunately Black's overrun there as well, so probably a slightly deeper position with the yellow here.
Trying to block Blue's shot at either red or the hoop.
Absolute bonus if that's where we end up. That's definitely under hit for that as a shot, but it's back in and runnable. So firing at red now. Just taking a little bit of relief on the south boundary. That net is a little bit close in behind you.
I anticipate they'll have a whole row of spectators around there for the semis and final.
They will.
And that's why they've actually moved it a bit close to the lawn. But yeah, it could easily be 4 inches further back for the block stages.
Yeah.
So, big battle that. And after a long period of time, it's Noha that's going to be coming out on top.
Just taking her time with this one and asking the referee to come on, just tighten that hoop up a little bit. Time to just compose yourself, really. I mean, you're right, it's been quite a battle of that hoop.
Yeah, and some people ask, well, why do they do this? And it's nothing to do with it's tightening, it's about firming. And it's so that if you catch the wire, instead of a lot of the energy being taken up by a hoop being floppy, it can just flick off one wire and go the right distance up to the next hoop. So trying to control the distance the striker's ball goes up to the next hoop.
Yes, yeah.
Got too much wire.
Yeah, didn't get through that quite so confidently as she'd hope. Gives Maha a chance to put this black in. I'm surprised she's gone that side of the peg, but
yeah, I think red was a little bit in play and the peg as well.
Yeah, it could quite possibly have been so.
If you've got to err on one side, the eastern side's always better.
Yes, yeah.
Because you're potentially clearing balls over towards 7.
Yeah, you might be correct. I mean, there's a half a chance if she's coming on the other side of the peg may have ended up hampering red's shot on black, but it was hard to tell what route she had in from where she was.
And this is a prime example of if you can put blue into really good hoop running position and red doesn't clear black, then you can clear yellow getting in front of 7.
To 7.
And when you're 3-2 down, that's always in the forefront of your mind. How can I get to 7?
Yes.
How can I get that 2 hoop swing going again?
So
nudge black. That's
okay.
handy. That's handy.
Yeah, straighten black up.
So she wouldn't if red misses black now. I think she'll just take the hoop on. Now it's straighter.
Would you not still look to take that advantage?
No, I think blue's too difficult. I don't think she'll feel it's 90% range for blue.
Okay. I mean, it's a little bit, perhaps a little bit further over than black was originally, but like you say, it depends on what the score is. You know, if you're a long way behind, then you perhaps would still take that as a risk.
Yeah, I think the key was black was going to be a clearing ball rather than a hoop running ball, and we wanted blue to be, 2 foot dead straight in front.
We did, yes.
But yeah. It's a big clearance, this.
Oh.
Well, she's broken a red clip. That'll be an invoice for 35p to the Egyptian Croquet Federation. A referee kindly coming on, and he's going to take that away and get a spare red clip. Hopefully straighten the peg out as well when he comes back on. So I think now, because red is miles away, she's taken this defensive shot again.
Yes.
I don't like it.
No.
I really don't.
No. I mean, again, trying to play off yellow towards 7 is, although defensive, it's still got an attacking element to it. But to do what she did and just stop shot yellow away, he's a little bit too defensive for my liking. It does look like she's got the block on, potentially got the block on blue, mind you, but
again, going for that mid-pace clearance, just trying to hit a ball in the middle and stay nearby. Honestly, I don't know what she's going to do here. She could try to jaws, she could take position.
I think, Maha's suggesting that she's not comfortable with these hoops, so she's trying to ensure that almost put her ball in so it's almost unmissable.
What do you think to rushing yellow here?
Rushing yellow in, the only danger with that is putting yellow far too close to black.
So
if you rush yellow too close to black, and she can turn around and clear yellow away.
What about black at red here?
Going back to that, if you're behind, you take that risk.
It's interesting, isn't it?
But the other thing is, again, you're pushing red towards 7 as well. Red potentially hasn't got to come back into play.
Correct. I think I'm just running the hoop. Yellow's got to approach hoop 7 from quite a long way away.
Yes.
Blue has got an open approach to 7. And I think the other thing to note here is the perfect scenario is black finishes in the middle of the whole hoop, in the jaws.
Giving blue potentially the option to flick.
Or it could have flicked black through going to 7, or it could have cleared red getting to 7. So the jaws there would have been the perfect scenario.
Was the perfect shot, but obviously Mahan's lacking confidence really with these hoops, which is explaining why she's going for that defensive shot more often than not. I mean, she's doing well to not particularly running hoops, but still staying firmly in the game at the moment. So Moha's come and had a look, so she must be confident that blue doesn't run.
I want to jump this. It's a straightforward meet and drink jump shot.
Even knowing black's got no particular shot to 7?
Yeah, I'll take a point here.
Judging by that, I'm not so sure she even needs to jump. I think this might be another little trickle into the jaws.
Oh, that's okay. I didn't realise she could squeeze past the black to there.
No. But that also suggests that she might be able to squeeze past that to run it. So it's whether red can get any of the black. Because black's going to stop blue disappearing too far if she can hit blue.
I think she's certainly going to hit this hard.
Yes.
Got the middle of the wire and bounced back to where she started, and now black either clears yellow or at least snuggles up to it.
Yeah, I think I'd probably attempt a full blue. Well, I'd attempt a sensible clearance here. It depends on how clean she can get the mallet. Again, the only possibility with a snuggle is it gives you something potentially to flick off to 7 if you get it wrong.
Yeah.
as long as you get the distance to sort of put your opponent off the idea of jumping.
And yellow will go to an onside position north of blue, just so blue can't stay there.
Yes.
Because if blue were allowed to stay there by red and yellow still being south of the hoop, it would allow black another rotation to come back into
get
play.
back into the game, yes. Yeah.
So she's trying to force blue to run the hoop.
Yeah, blue has to run the hoop now.
Accepting 3-all's fine, and black's going to be playing in from quite a long way away.
Yes, yeah.
And here comes the red clipped being replaced on the peg.
Red.
Go on, straighten that peg up.
No chance.
Oh well.
I was talking to Keith yesterday about there's definitely a gap in the market for better pegs. If somebody out there is capable of producing better pegs, I say one of my clubs actually has an end of year. One of the end of year jobs is to paint pegs they've brought into the correct colours.
Yeah. Just worth mentioning that shot that Maha's just played. She didn't just tap through the hoop because she knows that red's going to take position.
Yes.
And if she did just tap through, yellow would be able to clear that blue all the way to corner 4.
Yes, so she needed to get sort of north side of it, without a doubt.
It's a protection of blue. Yellow no longer has control over it. So now a tough
Does it
shot.
increase the clearance distance for blue?
It does. I always used to like clearing from the north boundary because it gave me a chance to hit on the right hand side, clearing them further away and taking the short boundary myself.
Yes.
Whereas clearing from hoop 6, both balls are going towards corner 2 and it wasn't quite as good. That's a cracking shot. That is 6 inches straight in front of 7.
Let's have a quick gander on another red conceded. Very clear route for red.
So I think we'll see yellow feel it needs to clear the black straight away.
Yes. Again, mid-pace, just needs to move it off the hoop line. Oh, she went for
lovely
full,
shot.
Went for full power really there.
I like that. I always coach, if you're clearing towards the boundary, hit it hard.
The only downfall with that is completely losing the yellow. So if blue now hits red,
the danger of hitting mid-pace is you clear black in the middle to the boundary, your ball follows through and it ends up with a 2-yarder pointing back at you in lawn, and it can clear you getting near 7. So you really do want your ball off the lawn. And most of the matches we're going to see this tournament, blue's going to shoot at red there.
okay.
Well, that could block yellow at blue as well.
I think you might be right.
So I didn't like the choice of blue not clearing red, but she's going to get quite a lot of benefit for it now, I think.
And the benefit that the opponent slightly lost where the yellow went after contact with black, taking it onto that angle. Just put another ball in. No need to do anything particularly special with that one. Ideally not quite so close to blue.
So this will be trying to nudge red towards blue, I think.
Would you not potentially attempt to use black?
No, I don't.
With it ending
I don't
that
think
close?
so. I think I want to play at red gently and try and get lucky.
I think I might have attempted using black to get my way to blue there, but I see the benefit of just nudging that red as well.
But she's tried to get the block on red with blue, but she's failed, and this is a full ball target now, black. Blue is runnable, once again I want blue to run the hoop.
Yeah.
So this is just got slightly wide, but she's got most of the ball to shoot at. Lovely shot.
Nice.
Yeah, there may be some viewers out there thinking, well, looks like these hoops are really difficult. They're turning down what look like straightforward hoops, and anyone who watched Debbie Lyons play a couple of nights ago saw her running 4 or 5 yard hoops from all over the place. Then they're not particularly difficult. The ground is soft, so I'm expecting hoops to run from 30, 35 degrees without too much trouble.
I think the Egyptian hoop running style is probably making them look a little bit more difficult than they perhaps are. That sort of smooth follow through style does seem to work better on these hoops.
Double clearance here.
That's a powerful shot if she does. Give her a chance to get right back in this hoop.
Yep,
yes.
Good shot.
Nice. And that opens that hoop up nicely now.
Again, going back to what I mentioned at the end of the first game, I was looking at Noha going, I'm not spotting a lot of areas where she's going to be easy to beat. This game I am.
Yes.
It's not been as strong. There have been some misses of clearances, missing hoops, and that's going to allow a stronger player enough chances to come back and take the match.
What do you feel the difference is from this game to game one? Is she just taken her eye off it just a little bit, or had the pressure put on her just a little bit more?
I think she's just missed a few clearances and a couple of hoop shots. It's just she hasn't played physically as well. That's one of the questions you're looking at with each player. Are we looking at a peak performance level on this game, or are they producing this game in, game out? And this is a clear dip. Yeah, that's a good shot.
Good squeeze through and get blue. I'm not so sure how much of blue she could see there, but it's a nice shot. I'm not so sure blue can see red at this point.
We won't go for it, even if it could, Stu.
No, so we're just going for another roll back in.
She's just going to play back in, making sure she doesn't leave a double clearance. She knows red has to clear one of the two balls.
After Maha's hoop running at the moment, I'm clearing blue. Are you?
I'm going in the jaws if I can.
Might be a little bit tight angle for jaws. Obviously, blue's, if he does, blue's a bit too close for jump. It's possible, but a little close.
But yeah, if I'm clearing a ball, I'm definitely clearing blue. And she's put red in what I regard as the perfect position there. She's put it somewhere where if black clears it, it's going to struggle to hold.
To stay in front, yes.
And
yeah.
if black goes for the hoop and draws it's in perfect jumping range.
Yes.
So I really couldn't have wished for it to be on a better blade of grass.
No.
And that's what when I mention back ball control, that's what I'm meaning.
Yes. Not just sort of standing behind thinking, all I'm going to do is clear blue here, having an end result for your ball too. And again, as we expected, Maha's opted, no, I'm not going for the hoop. I'm just going to clear red. I think it's a bit dangerous to keep trying to play to get the perfect ball in front of the hoop.
Yeah, and
I think you do have to take them on sometimes.
yeah, I think if you're 2 hoops behind on an odd numbered hoop, then there's a reasonable explanation for doing it. You're trying to run it all the way down to the next hoop and
You're
catch
trying
up.
to gain advantage of
At
next
3
hoop.
all, I want to run hoop 7.
Yes, yeah.
Even if it's by 4 yards, I just want to run hoop 7.
Yeah. And again, especially as I know she's gone off a little bit, but Moha's clearances are working relatively well for her. So just keep putting another one in. Moha's eventually going to create our own hoop running opportunity.
Yeah, this looks like an error with the red. It's too tight and it's offered quite a big wide area for this clearance. I expect yellow not to be able to hit blue after this shot.
No. Yes, yeah, that's exactly what's happened there.
No, I don't think it is. I think she's missed that. I think she's got about a quarter of a ball still. I think she needed just to hit it a fraction more on the left.
It's about a quarter ball for the blue.
Yeah. No,
There's a small amount of that blue she can actually see here. By no means easy.
I was just trying to play, I'm guessing, into black to get a result.
Probably trying to push black towards blue and sort of shut the hoop off. But there wasn't a lot of that blue to hit. There was a little bit, but not a lot. Whether she was just trying to stop on the line or put a blocker in. Didn't particularly pass close to black.
I like shooting hard at that. So the 3 things I could see was you could hit the edge of blue if you hit a really good shot.
Yes.
You could hit the right hand edge of red, which would have flicked off into black, potentially flicking into the hoop.
Yes.
You could have missed it on the right hand side, hitting the left hand side of black, maybe hitting blue.
Yes.
There are lots of good options by hitting a nice firm shot.
Yeah. I mean, potentially you could just clear everything out there.
Yeah.
They're all that close together. But it's nice to see we've gone for tightening, sort of firming the hoop up, but then still not opted for the hoop shot.
Sorry, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Missed. But having done all that work to get a 2 foot 10 degree hoop shot, why give a bonus 8 yarder away in order to get a 2 foot straight hoop shot?
Yes, yeah. It makes a lot of sense then.
Were you relieved?
Now we have some members of the much fairer sex to relieve us, Stu.
Yes.
So welcome to Secretary General Debbie Lyons and Jenny Clark.
Thank you.
Hi guys.
And you go and congratulate that wife of yours.
We'll leave it to it. Yes, nice. Louise got a win, so she'll be happy. Makes my life much better.
Yep, that's live on commentary.
It's always important to support the other half well. Okay, welcome folks. They're just moving away from the hoop near us, so we should be able to talk fairly naturally. So
We've had a point scored, so what have we got?
So it's now 4-3 to Maha.
Yep.
And Noha's 1 game up.
I've seen a bit of this game just while we were having lunch before, and they do seem to be very, very well matched. Nice to have a chance to see a couple of the Egyptians playing.
Yes, because I haven't really seen them play that much so far. And of course, being fairly new to GC, I've not really ever seen them play. So, and here comes the lovely Alison with our drinks as well.
And hopefully with a password. I did guess a form of that password.
Okay, bear with us, folks, whilst we just sort out the technical stuff. And Alison, you'll let us know if we can be heard all right, will you?
I will.
Yeah, you send messages there if there are any issues.
Definitely the live one.
Okay, whilst they're sorting out the technical stuff, they're up at lawn at hoop 8, and Noha has just sent blue to corner 1 and has red foot in front of 8, so Mahan needs to clear this, 8-yarder?
Yeah, 9-yarder. Seen them fail a few hoops the length at Blackers. These hoops have been pretty good, really.
The hoops are good, yeah. They're not, I mean, we both played out at Christchurch earlier this year, and the hoops were a little bit more challenging than they are here. But we've had a lot of rain, and that's made the ground soft. But they're well set, and you can't, you've got to treat them with respect. So she's just snicked that.
They're very nicely set. There's been very few balls that have just gone through without touching the sides. Naturally, if you hit it absolutely perfectly, it will, but
yeah,
it's not the sort of hit and miss of half of them going through like that. They're set very tightly.
Yeah.
Real tribute to the grounds team here.
Absolutely. So I don't know whether that red has moved. It looks like that red has been moved enough that she can't run the hoop. So she's just going to tonk black away by the looks of things.
Thank you very much. So yeah, we've got the comments on YouTube as well, so if you've got any questions for us, just fire them out there.
Yep.
This is really the fun day's play, because you've got the 3, 4, 5 and 6 and a wee mini block all battling for places.
Yeah, everybody's fighting it out, and then tomorrow morning will be really crunchy for some people.
Yep.
With must-win games in order to either get into a playoff or in on their own right. And I went and saw the manager earlier after I lost to you, Jenny. He said, "Is 4 wins enough?"
4 wins guarantees you qualifying.
Yeah, he said he thought I was safe.
3 wins will be interesting. Some people I think will qualify with 3 wins, or it will at least guarantee you a playoff. There's a few people might be crossing their fingers they can get by on 2 wins.
Wow.
And there will be some scenarios.
Yeah, I mean it's 4 go through out of 7, so that's better odds than you often get at these World Championships.
Yeah, and quite small blocks, so lots of things can happen. I think our block's looking quite exciting because we've got about 9 of the wins. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're block D. So yeah, there was and our number 7 has got some wins, which is making the middle very interesting.
So we've got 9 of the wins in the block, and then number 3, I think she's actually got 2 wins. I think Tafida won this morning.
Right. Okay.
Then Helen Covington and Kate McLaughlin played a lot better than their not troubling the score yet shows, and Sylvia's got 1 win, so it's all to play for all of them. And as you say, Kathy at the bottom's got 2 wins, but it's got the top 2 seeds to play.
Yeah, I mean, when I played Sylvia, I found her really quite good. So I'm a bit surprised she's not had more wins.
Didn't run her hoops very well against me was her main issue. I think she was very, very nervous as well.
Right. Okay. No, she was really good against me. Positioning was marvellous. Same with Helen. I think that's the thing that's impressed me the most here. Everybody's taking position just brilliantly well.
Yeah, it's really important. I think Chris was saying Virginia Arney was one of the real standouts for him. Mm-hmm. She doesn't have a lot of power and she knows it, so that's what she, that's how she makes up for it.
And keeps putting the balls in.
Putting it in, a foot in front of the hoop.
Yep.
And you try and clear them, you can put people through.
Yep.
Or just hit onto wires. We've got a few Kiwis and Aussies having late nights here, looking at the comments.
Wow, okay. So what time is it back home then? Must be 2 in the morning or something.
2 or 3 in the morning, yep.
Yeah, oh well done folks. Well done for staying with us. It's actually nice weather here, unlike yesterday, so you can sit at home in your winter New Zealand and Australia, and it might even be warmer here.
It's pretty wretched there, yeah. And make the most of this, Debbie, because today and tomorrow are our good days.
Is that it? And then it goes bad again, does it? Oh, well.
Potential for some rain.
It didn't look as bad as yesterday, though, when I looked at the forecast.
No, yesterday was horrible. Yesterday I finished at 3:10, which I was grateful for.
Yeah. Okay, so an important miss. Sorry, we were wittering on without talking about the game, which is what we're supposed to be doing. So yeah, important miss from black there, which I think has probably given red and yellow a bit of a chance.
Interesting. No, I was having a look at this and thinking maybe I don't want to run this hoop because she won't be able to get her other ball to hoop 8.
Yeah. So
She's having black put on so that she can just pop red just in the way. This is something that Tony Stevens, really, really great New Zealand player from a long time back, did some coaching with some New Zealand women in golf croquet before, like the 2007 Worlds. And the big thing that we got from him, because he says nothing to the game, take position, run hoops, but the big thing we got was he said shut the gate. Even if the ball's on the other side of the lawn, you put your ball between them and the hoop.
Yep.
Don't give them hope.
Yep. So I don't know whether she's. Yeah.
So she's had to go up blocking both. This will be all about red, I think, not being able to get anywhere near hoop 9.
Okay. And she's one hoop down, I suppose, so that's sort of important. I don't think I'd have done that. Shows my inexperience at GC. I think I'd have just bashed through and assumed it would work itself out.
I think I probably would have too, to be honest. A lot to be said for scoring the hoop.
Well, quite, yeah.
But no, she's done well here. So, and the other thing is, if you mess this block up and they clear you, you're just sitting there going, why didn't I just take my point?
Yeah. But she's got the block. And blue didn't shoot at yellow, which I'm a bit surprised at, because blue was nearer. But
Yeah,
then I guess she's still losing the hoop even if she hits, isn't she?
yeah, just trying to avoid getting out of position, really. I assume she'll be shooting at this, but I don't know for sure. Might just play on side. No, this is a shot. So they have failed a few hoops. You're not failing the hoop with yellow, of course. Oh, it's a great
Ooh,
effort.
That was close.
So it doesn't look like red had the block from where we are, from looking at that shot.
It may have been blocked on yellow, but it wasn't blocked on the hoop, I don't think.
Yeah, there's definitely something she was interested in down there.
Wow. Bounced off the hoop, so. Okay, so that's going to tie it at 4-all.
So
Interesting.
This is a critical hoop, and I was saying to some people who were coaching before this event, this is one that's actually just worth practicing, getting from 8 to 9.
Yeah,
Because hoop 9 is so important in a match.
and that's gone short.
Yep. Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
You just don't want to be. You if anything, go long, but it's a really important hoop to get in front of.
Yeah. Don't remind me. I was alright the first game, I think I nailed it, but the second game I was short about where blue is, so.
I did that a bit. My main issue was these lawns are sort of 1 to about 8 are relatively slow, although they have been cut today. But I played on them yesterday when they were a bit longer and it was a bit damp, and then lawn 11 was quite a bit quicker.
Yep, lawn 11's a lovely lawn. I don't know, it's a bit higher, maybe it just drains better, but
Yeah, I guess the subsoil just stays a little bit drier.
yeah. We've got a little interesting lineup going on over at hoop 9.
It's quite interesting. They might have been able to get the block here.
Yeah, I don't know what. She's going.
Oh, that's a lovely
that's
shot.
a lovely shot. Yeah, so it's blocked red at the hoop.
The Egyptians aren't huge on jumping. They will if you force them to, and many of them will jump really well if you force them to. But this is just a position of hit black away and do some clearing. Really, really nice shot with blue though.
Oh, that was good.
That's not bad.
I haven't practiced those. Do you practice those?
I
No.
don't really practice a lot. When I get out and practice, it's mainly just taking position, running hoops,
Yeah.
just getting comfortable with my swing. But yeah, if you can do those. That was another thing about Tony Stevens, New Zealand, or the guy who coached New Zealand a bit. He was a champion billiards player. So
I
he was
didn't know
all
that
about
about
these
Tony.
angles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Multi-time New Zealand winner, I believe, or really up there.
Well, did not know that. Tony was a lovely guy. Well, he still is.
Still is.
Yes.
Careful,
Sorry, Tony.
We're running out of Kiwi top croquet players at a great rate, so we'll keep hold of Tony.
Yeah. I really enjoyed catching up with Sonia when I was out in New Zealand. because I hung out quite a lot with Sonia back in early 90s. Well, she then went and had children, and I hadn't seen her for 30 years, so we had a good catch. Sonia's, for those who don't know, is Tony's daughter. So
yeah, Sonia and Erica Stevens are both really, really good croquet players. It's a shame not to have them here. They've been very competitive in previous World Championships. I really like the care that the Egyptians take over things. They're well settled. They wait till they are completely ready to play their shot.
yeah,
Some of us probably play things a little bit faster,
yeah,
carelessly.
snatch at things. There's no snatching when you watch the Egyptians, is there? So this isn't looking good for blue and black now. Red looks in complete control. Yep, that's gone halfway. So Ma has quite sensibly, in my opinion, gone, there's nothing I can do here, and just popped a ball halfway.
Yeah, just having a hack at the hoop and hoping she can miraculously run it and clear reds. Just
From that
not
distance
percentage.
would not be a percentage, no.
That looks like a good pace too.
Yep, that's nice.
Wee bit short, but you'd be happy with that, wouldn't you? You wouldn't take that back.
So this is looking good for red and yellow now. 5-4 up and in control at 10.
Yeah, getting that control at 10 is huge because, if you can get it back to 5-5, you need a clearance at 11, obviously, but it's not that long a shot generally.
And some people do in-offs.
Some people get really lucky.
Jenny and I played this morning, in case you haven't picked up on that, everyone. And she went and beat me 7-6, 7-6. And was slightly helped by an in-off at 11 in the second.
Yeah. Well, Debbie had taken excellent position, so I thought I'd better have a couple of shots at this because my balls were a long way away. And it wasn't some great billiards skillful effort. It was a vast amount of luck. That's one thing that Debbie needs to learn as a sort of newer to golf croquet person, is that luck plays a hell of a lot.
Yeah, I need to start finding four-leaf clovers and. You hit the shot, so you make your luck, don't you?
Yeah. So again, this is looking pretty bad for Maha. We've got Maha right in front of the hoop. It looks like yellow's just dead in front.
I think red's taking this on though. Don't think that's clearing.
Maybe it is to the side.
Don't think she's clearing black here.
I was deceived by the angle. Now,
She might have been lucky there. It looks as if red's bounced into a position where black won't be able to clear yellow without doing a double little cannon.
yeah, it looks like it might be covering it a bit.
And would you have gone for the hoop then? I think I'd have been tempted to take the wired on black.
You'd have to have another look at yellow because you can't just go into jaws with yellow. But I don't think the Egyptians are that good at running these long hoops. Certainly some of them are, but I've seen these ladies fail a few just in this match. When I tried to do that, just leave you a few long ones to see what you'd do. You ran them all, I know.
Yeah, it's the short ones I couldn't run.
But it's worth letting your opponent have a go at some of the longer hoops and just go, well, have a crack, and if you don't get it, I'm there.
Yeah. So I'm not sure whether she's got a shot at the hoop with black now.
Well, if you've got a shot at the hoop, black just looks like it's dead in front.
Well,
Maybe she's thinking about taking on the jump. So I haven't seen the Egyptians play many jumps.
Well, she can't jump red from there. She's way too close.
Do you think she's planning the double clearance there? No, it's a hoop.
Well, there's a referee coming on. It's just a firming up. So it must be the hoop. So I think this is probably about 40 degrees or something. No, less than that.
No,
look.
it doesn't look too bad. This is it's just an easy
less
hoop.
than
By the look of it. She's just feeling a bit anxious about it.
Easy.
Did that very gently, didn't she?
Oh, I wonder if she was going for the rush blue on black across.
Might have been playing for that. It's a good spot. Yeah.
Because blue's slightly behind the hoop. So
I played for this a couple of times against opponents, but then their approaches to the hoop were bad enough that I couldn't really justify it.
that's a
That's
good
a
shot.
beauty.
That's lovely. And she was going quite close to that. I've been going a little bit further back, give myself a bit more room.
Yeah, I mean, if you go further back, if your angle's worse, if you go a bit too far or a bit short, you've still generally got a shot at the hoop. That's a really good shot. That's the sort of distance that Virginia Arnie's been very successful at.
Right.
But yeah, as I say, if you don't get a really good position in front, it's often not runnable.
No, she's not doing the rush thing. So
Now, this sort of turning positions, you're just close enough that you don't need to rush it.
Yeah, you should be hitting those most of the time, shouldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, one thing you can do, if you rush your ball across, red will just have a slap at it, and then you've got a ball in no man's land, and then you've got another ball on the boundary that you're hitting back
so
with.
that's just awful. Yeah. It's a rare miss.
Yes.
That's our fault because we said they should be hitting them.
Yeah.
Sorry, Noah.
Gives Maha a great opportunity to get back in this game now.
Yeah.
If she can nail this, what do you reckon, about 8-yarder?
Yeah.
Well, apparently it's about 2 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. So they're only slightly keen.
I'm not sure what the Aussies are doing. It might be midnight for them. They're okay. Depending on which bit. This drives Chris nuts. He hates when he's coaching people when they'll put their mallet down. This is fine. But people who put their mallet down, walk away, line things up, and then walk back, pick up their mallet and hit the ball.
Because it's all about the feet.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where the mallet's aiming. I suppose if you put your mallet down in the right order, your feet are more likely to go in the right position. That must be the theory. But
you've got to pick it up. Oh, I don't like it.
I don't like it.
Anyway, neither does Maha. She went back and got her mallet.
No, she must. So a lot of the Egyptians will take position with their Irish grip at the top of the mallet, and then they drop their hands down.
Yeah.
Which seems to be incredibly effective, but that doesn't seem intuitively sensible either.
It's another one of Chris's pet hates. Yep, people get there, they stalk it, they walk up to it, and then they move their hands.
Yeah.
But loads of the Egyptians do it, and they are very good players.
Yeah.
I mean, these two, maybe nerves getting to them a bit, or you just miss 8-yarders sometimes.
Can't hit them all.
You hit most of them. You hit a lot of them.
So did you. Not in the first 3 or 4 hoops, but then you tuned in. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just about getting your swing dialed in, comfortable and smooth.
And once you hit a few, you then expect to hit them, so you relax and then you hit them.
Yeah.
It's when you're all wound up and like, ooh, I've missed a few, and then you don't swing smoothly.
Yeah, you can't suddenly believe you can't play the game, given that you've got this far and had all these achievements. It's just something's not working. You just need to tidy it up.
Yep. Just
got a lot of wire on that. Must have got maybe a little bit of inside wire, do you think, in this first contact?
Possibly, although you're lucky if they go through at all with that. Maybe she was too full on the left. I didn't really see.
Could have been, yeah. We just heard a lot of rattling there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, big chance for Maha to get back into this. Yeah, you get down to hoop 13, it is a bit of a lottery.
So, 6-5 to Noha.
6-5 and game up, so Noha does have the initiative here, but there's loads of play left in this match.
Loads of play. A lot of Egyptians playing with wooden mallets.
Yeah, and often 9 inches, though slightly longer mallet heads now. But yeah, just basic wooden mallets.
Yeah, that's a bit surprising, really.
I think the Egyptian balls are quite a lot harder than the ones that we play with.
Right.
And I do know that, I believe Reg destroyed a
beauty.
mallet. That's a cracking shot, isn't it?
Lovely shot. These two are playing really well.
Yeah, just a couple of clearances and hoops, but basically they're coming back with beautiful returns and two very nice players.
Yes, I finally gave up my wooden mallet about 2 years ago, having played with it for 35 years or something.
So what are you playing with now, Debbie?
I have a trimmer,
Ah.
I love. Thank you, Mr. Trimmer. I call it my magic mallet because I can hit straight with it, which I'd forgotten how to do with the old wooden one.
Yeah, Greg Bryant in New Zealand got a Manor House mallet, so one of Alan Pidcock's, which is what Trimmer's taken over and even stepped up a bit. And suddenly Greg was on top of the world. He was just winning everything. And yeah, your shooting and play's been fantastic.
Yeah, it's made a huge difference. And I mean, partly, I think because I retired and I was playing a bit more, I was able to practice a bit more. So who knows, I might have got better anyway. But yeah, the mallet definitely helped.
Oh, very unlucky.
Oh yeah, she's just getting rid of red. She's cannoned into her partner.
It's interesting though, because it gives her the opportunity to be having a crack at something that you did in our game, which is take position with, what will it be, black?
Black, and then off yellow.
Yeah.
Blue off yellow down to in front of 13.
You have to hit it very hard to get all the way up to 13, but if you can get on the way, it's pretty powerful.
Yeah. Well, red's going to be better still.
No, I need to come off yellow, otherwise it'll clear black.
Oh, yeah, good point. Duh.
It's okay, I'm used to playing with Mr. Mulliner late in the day in doubles.
Oh.
I'm also quite good at getting the ball rotations wrong myself, to be honest.
Yeah, I think because I'm still very much learning this game.
You're a referee.
Yeah, you do know I've got the laws wrong twice.
Yep.
Apologies, Ian Shaw, who did our course.
It's different. It's different to doing book work or doing learning and then suddenly getting onto a lawn and you suddenly start doubting yourself.
Well, it's more, both the things I've got wrong were things that are different in AC.
Yeah.
And ever since I became a GC ref about 6 weeks ago or something, I've been playing AC.
It messes with you, doesn't it? You've got to get the two forms
I now don't know the rules in either game. It's a nightmare. So yeah,
I got the rotations wrong anyway. She still gets to play yellow first.
Oh, yes, of course she does.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't mind us.
Yeah, just don't listen to us comment. Yeah.
So interesting she's going for the jump shot though.
It looks like she's going for the jump, doesn't it?
Yep.
Well, she's up. Game winning, match winning.
Hasn't brought her feet very far forward.
No, the Egyptians don't. I was talking to Chris about this yesterday. And he said none of the Egyptians stand way forward like we typically would. But they got the jump.
Played nicely, just got the line wrong.
Yeah, nice jump.
There was a player I played yesterday who basically had the ball between their ankles to play their jump shots. And they weren't very effective and they didn't get a lot of power. And after the game I suggest, have a go with just the ball between the balls of your feet, so a lot further forward. And she just played a perfect jump shot straight away.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of it's all about body position. All the rest of it just comes if you can get your body in the right place.
Yeah. And I think if you've got a huge amount of power, you can.
Shot, masterful shot.
Has she got rid of red enough though? But if red misses, that is potentially wonderful.
That's pretty good. But you're right,
Yeah.
that red's not gone the full distance.
Yeah. But yeah, I think if you've got huge amounts of power, like some of the men do, then you can play the way the Egyptians do the jump shots, which is more of a sort of just tilt forward and swing at it.
Yeah, just a really flat, hard
because
shot.
the weight just takes the ball up in the air. But you've got to hit really hard for that to be effective, haven't you?
Yeah. Ooh, just done enough.
Yeah.
I saw one of the most entertaining jump shots I've ever seen at the European Teams Champs last week.
Okay.
It was Chris Roberts playing. His opponent was in the jaws of hoop 10, about to win. So it was the next ball to play, and he was 6 whatever up. And Chris was in corner 4. So he called a referee and gave it his very, very best golf shot. Full backswing. It bounced quite a lot. Unfortunately, the lawns were completely waterlogged, but it might have had some chances on a dry lawn in this sort of place here. It was a fantastic shot.
And he didn't damage the court?
No, well, he did damage the court, but it was only with the ball.
Okay.
Generally,
Yep.
if you play a really good jump shot, even with
Yeah,
massive
it's just
power.
the depression of the ball. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I know that there was the incident with Reg
Ooh,
Bamford where he
overhit that.
created a bit of a divot, but I used to use that when I was teaching biomechanics when we were doing things about video analysis, and I'd show them the shot, and I'd say to them, this happened in the World Champs, and I'd say, this is what a fault is, this is what's clean, and we looked at the shot, and we showed it frame by frame, and then there'd just be this outrage where I said, well, that was faulted, that one. But, we've moved on a bit from there, and we're a bit more cautious.
So, yellow seemed to go off to the left there on purpose. Either that or she played a really quite bad shot. Because she was taking position from 10 yards away.
That will be on purpose. I'm not sure I like that position completely. She's probably trying to get wide from black. So if you can get on the
Yeah.
other side of the hoop, that means that blue can't come into position because yellow can't be cleared. As it is, I think black can see yellow, so blue would have been trying to just get a foot in front,
Yeah.
clear yellow. But yeah, I mean, things that you're wanting to do here, you don't want to just go in front of the hoop and get cleared by a ball that's
But
allowed
you
to
could
stay
have
in
gone
front.
sort of, 2/3 of the way between the peg and the hoop. And then,
Yeah, that does allow them to just pop a ball dead in front of the hoop.
yeah.
Although that said, I do like just going somewhere I can have a thrash at my hoop.
Well, quite, yeah.
So interesting position here. So obviously Maha didn't get blue in a
Yeah.
position where she can run it.
Red looks as if it could run.
Question is, can blue jaws? She hasn't got jaws in black.
No, that missed. So if red can run, yellow could just get rid of blue.
Might clear blue. They've been a little bit cautious and just trying to keep control of the hoop. What she'll be thinking about really, I think, is clearing black. Because if you clear black, it's another full rotation till black can come back into play. Gives you a lot of control of the hoop.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a bit disappointing if blue then just runs the hoop. Oh yeah, someone was asking about the Egyptians choking down on the mallet. So if you're watching live, you can see now the Egyptian's got her Irish grip at the top and just sort of moves her hands down.
I see she was listening to me. She's now gone where I said.
So yeah, they tend to line themselves up. They have their hands at the top of the mallet, get themselves all perfectly aligned, and then they move their hands down, what do you reckon, about a foot?
Some more than others, yeah. That was only, 10 inches a foot. There's some of them, you see, they drop way down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they must be setting themselves up for backache in years to come.
Wrists, I think, are problems as well, but yeah, I mean, they are really bent over. So they generally play with an Irish grip. So bending over that far gives them a nice big backswing.
Yeah.
But yeah, my back wouldn't be having that.
Yeah. I mean, I've never seen a single Egyptian play with a standard grip. Not one.
No,
They must just be taught from the get-go to play Irish.
you just
It's
missed the
come out
jaws
a
there.
bit, yeah.
You do tend to find that people generally follow their coach.
Yeah.
Now, Ian Plummer taught a whole bunch of us to play at Oxford University. We all played with a split standard grip. And eventually, some of us developed our own techniques a bit more, or, slightly different ones. Paul Skinley in Wellington, great New Zealand player, played Solomon grip. So loads of Wellingtonians play with the Solomon grip.
Yeah.
Solomon grip. That's a nice clearance. She won't
Yeah.
be very happy with that though, because now red's
Look where
directly
red's
south
gone,
of the hoop.
yeah, horrible. So, of course, we are watching play on the John Solomon lawn.
We are, yes.
So, Solomon grip, named after the great John Solomon. And for any beginners out there, the Solomon grip is when you have your palms facing towards you with both hands. And the Irish grip, conversely, is your palms aim away from you.
The Solomon grip does give you a vast amount of power.
You get this huge pivot, don't you? So the mallet, you hold the mallet at the top generally, and you just get this huge backswing. Can look really elegant done well.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the notable players here who plays with the Solomon grip is the top Australian, Jamie Gumbrell. She's got a lovely style. She casts a bit and then puts her mallet down before hitting the ball, but she's got a beautiful looking stance and style. And we saw yesterday she's very, very good at jump shots.
Yep.
Right, this is one of the things that shows where it's so good to have good position. You've got to clear this black. I had one of those that I just rushed through the hoop yesterday. It's
Yeah.
frustrating.
Yeah. Because she's far enough away that
Oh, is this a jump?
this looks like a jump.
Oh, this is aggressive.
Yeah, and she didn't really get any lift on that at all.
Oh, I snatched it a bit, I thought.
Yeah, there was
Okay.
no backswing, was there?
Yeah.
No. Oh,
Not like your jump shot today, which was excellent. What was that
well,
from?
one worked, the second one didn't.
2 or 3 yards?
About 3 yards.
must have
No,
at least
2
3
yards. No,
yards.
it was only
Yeah.
2 yards. It was a bit of an angle.
Bit of an angle through hoop 6. That meant that the ball that was sitting in hoop 6 was stranded, couldn't get to hoop 7.
Yep. No, I should have won that game after that, really. But anyway, I didn't.
Game's all about luck.
Yep, because I think that put me 4-2 up, didn't it, with you on the back foot. But
Yeah.
anyway, never mind.
It's
But yeah, I
interesting.
had another go at a jump, didn't I, at 5 in the second game, and it was awful. I got the outside of the left-hand wire.
Yeah, that one wasn't good.
So, you win some, you lose some.
That's the trouble with jump shots, is that it's very, very black and white.
Yeah.
You know, if you fail it, they generally just pop a ball through.
But again, going back to what you were saying a minute ago, you'd got 4-inch position in front, and I wasn't
Yeah.
wasn't confident that clearing you was going to move you.
Yeah.
You know, I had to hit it quite thin to get you away from the hoop.
Yeah, and if you hit it thin, you go further than me, so...
Exactly. So it's not great. And the jump was very achievable, played well. So felt like the right shot to take.
Yeah.
Just needed to play it well.
I did look at it thinking, it's probably in a range. Oh well, there wasn't a lot I could do about that. You'd wired me with your other clearance as well.
Yeah.
So you played that whole sequence really nicely. Right, so we now have, which I think, it's not really a 50-50, it's probably 70-30 I reckon, for the first person going up there. There is a big, big slope that goes from left to right as she's played it.
And that's...
So you have to stay quite far away from the hoop.
Oh.
And she's got the slope.
That's not great.
Robert Fulford, winning the British Open here last year, knew about that slope and played to avoid it well. And that's why in your hit up you have to have India hit up, a couple of shots playing from hoop 12 to hoop 13.
You see, I never do that. That's good. I go around all the outside, all the balls, you know, all the normal hoops, but
Yep.
I generally run out of time in my 10 minutes before I get around to going 12 to 13 because I like to practice a few 8-yarders along the way as well.
Yeah, and you sort of do a few clearances and have to go and tidy up balls.
Yeah,
It's worth it, maybe just skip the last few hoops.
yeah, and just go and do 12
Go
to
up there.
13, yeah.
Yeah, and at this venue, pretty much all the approaches are uphill, but there's also this hill that goes to the side, and
And she's avoided it.
she played that nicely. Well, that's a real turnaround, isn't it?
Yeah, well, she's not got wired from yellow, which is,
But, yeah, Noha was all over this game when we took over.
yeah.
Hello, and
So-
here we have Diana Wilson, who's doing very well.
Thank you very much.
3 wins so far?
3 wins so far, yes.
Very good. Guaranteed at least a playoff.
Hope so,
So
yes.
keep going.
Who have you got left to play?
Well, I'm playing Liz Farrow this afternoon.
Okay.
I'm sitting over there waiting. And tomorrow morning I've got Bev Cardo, who's got through
Okay.
the qualifiers.
Okay.
Right, so big chances on those.
So if you can't hear
Hope
that,
so.
Diana's got Liz Farrow, one of the locals, playing on her own lawns, and then Bev Cardo, who came through, I think, top of the qualifiers, the American.
Yep.
So this is this lovely 3, 4, 5, 6 sort of mini block that's being played to find the qualifiers. But Diana's currently on 3, is at least guaranteed a playoff, which is very good.
Thank you.
Well done. And good luck in your games.
Good luck. Meanwhile, at the all-important 13.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we believe Noha's got this shot on blue.
Well, I don't know if black's gone in the way.
Yeah, I mean she's in all sorts of trouble because even if you clear blue, blue's just all over red and can smash that down the lawn. A lot to be said for just popping in front if you can here.
Force the good shots from blue and black.
Yeah,
Yeah.
make blue and black do some
Or
of the
clear
clearance.
black and let blue have that slightly longer one. But
Yeah, I quite like doing that.
you must have a chance of cannoning black into blue.
Yeah, I think you'd be looking at the line to try and achieve that here.
Be
It's a
trying.
good spot.
No.
Yeah, probably had a go at it, but not successful. This is the psychology of these 13th hoops is just wonderful. With blue, you have a go at the hoop, you're further back, you're on more of an angle.
Or do you go for red? Just clear red.
Clear red.
I mean, she can clear red and hold for position quite
Yeah.
easily, which must be tempting.
Probably what she'll go for, I think. Yeah, you're right. The thing is, it's awful if you can lose this last hoop without having had a shot at it when you've been sitting in front.
Yeah, and if you've had one that length and you don't go for it.
This is Maha going for the hoop. Good on her. Nope. Oh, playing it beautifully though.
That was nice because she's held. Yeah, that got a clap from the spectators.
Yep, I misread that one. But yeah, really good clearance. I think we might end up seeing yellow going for the hoop here. I don't know.
No, yellow will clear blue, surely.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how good red is. And all this really has come about, I think, from that yellow ending up in the back of the hoop.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if you just stay a bit wide, you just can't be glued to the back of the hoop. It puts you at such a disadvantage.
That's what Burridge's book says. Avoid the hoop, he says.
You've read the book?
I have read the book. Yeah, it's a good book.
Oh yeah, I've read a couple of chapters of it. It is very good. It's the sort of thing that you can dip in and out of.
Yep.
And just learn a bit each time, and even just remind yourself of stuff that you think you know. It's
Yep.
all very good advice in it. £18 at the croquet shop.
There we go.
Wow, great shot.
I also liked Stephen Custer's
Customs Baker's
books,
books, yeah.
yeah. So they're slightly less technical than Ian's, which is good. I read those first and then I moved on to Ian's.
I think that's a good order to go actually. A lot of Stephen Customs Baker's writings also on the Taunton Dean Croquet website.
Is it?
He's got some lovely stuff there. He's got his pod materials from his golf croquet coaching pods.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it's quite a good order. Stephen's written a couple of books now. I think he's
Yeah,
on to
there's
his next
one, Mistakes Not to Make or something like that. I forget exactly what it's called. And the other one's Tactics or something.
Yeah, I think Tactics came first.
Yeah, well, they're both. I thought they were both very good.
Stephen's very big on having balls do two things.
Yes.
And
Well, so's Ian, to be fair, in his book. Yeah.
okay. So yeah, it's just how you can get a bit more of an advantage. Someone's cleared you, but then you suddenly notice, oh, they've blocked me as well.
Yeah.
If you can get a couple of outcomes.
Right, let's see what happens here. Can she clear black?
Position or hoop, I would have thought. Let's see.
Yeah, leaving red to clear black. Was that? I'm not quite sure whether that was. Given we were just talking about doing two things, was she trying to? Surely not worried about blue running the hoop from there.
No, I wouldn't have gone across the front of black actually. All you want is really good position because you're just saying, I am going to smash the middle of black here.
Right, Maha's just come back with a water bottle, so she's just gone to get a quick drink.
Just tossing her water bottle over the fence there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's quite warm today.
Oh, it's a lovely day today.
Beautiful, yeah.
This is what English summer should be.
It's 20-1 in Geelong. Well, hello Geelong. I've got a brother and family there.
Geelong.
Geelong, it's just out of Melbourne, about an hour out of
I was going
Melbourne.
to say it sounds Australian.
That was great. We turned up to Geelong to see my brother and went to the Croquet Club there and wandered in, and Chris and I thought we'll go in there and try and be anonymous and see what they think of some newbies.
Yep.
And it was just after the Women's Worlds, the first Women's Worlds in Melbourne, and they looked at us and went, oh, I know you, I went and saw you play. And Chris got to be anonymous. It's nice to be recognised independently of him. So anyway, we've had a big go at a clearance. That was Maha having a go at clearing yellow.
Now Noah's going to see if she can clear black.
Yep.
And if she can, she's back in the ascendancy again.
These are big nervy shots, these. You know, normally your 7-yarders are solid as, but suddenly you get 6.5 yarder to save the game. And it's just that much more difficult. So same deal, hands right at the top of the mallet. So put that mallet down close to the back of the ball.
Oh, she put
dear.
it through.
really, really unlucky with that. She's
Yeah.
just fresh peeled black to lose that game. Fortunately, it's only game 2.
So we get to enjoy another one.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, really, really well matched players these.
Yeah, but that's a horrible way to lose a game.
Yes.
Because, you know, the black ball she peeled was, what, 2 foot back?
At least, yeah.
So, yeah, unlucky.
But I mean, a few millimetres either way. She's just hitting the wire and leaving it sitting there.
That's true.
So, yeah, she's missed her line by a fairly long way, but still incredibly unlucky.
Yeah. So I do like a lot of the Egyptians have their bodies are so still when they play,
Yeah.
and it's just the arms.
The other thing that's very still about the Egyptians, if you're playing them, they're beautiful people to play. You know, occasionally you think, you know, you're about to stalk a shot, you're going, are there any distractions? Where's my opponent? They're standing dead still, well out of your vision.
Right.
They
Yeah.
are lovely, gracious people to play.
Very aware. Yeah.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. You get very little body movement from the Egyptians through their swing.
Mm. Yeah, you can see why their coaches probably do coach them to play the way they do. But I don't like the hand moving.
No. And it's a huge backswing, but you're sort of forced into that with the Irish grip.
Oh, the Irish grip though is less wristy, isn't it? Just the very fact that you've got your hands sort of locked like that, you can't flop around so much. Whereas with the standard grip that I use, on a bad day, one hand takes control over the other, and I start hoiking things to left or right.
Yeah, you can certainly twist your mallet, and that's my problem where I have a few mishits, especially since I've changed my grip slightly for this event. I'll have a few mishits where it will just go miles off to the right.
You've changed your grip for this event.
Just
Tell
a
me
tad.
about that.
I play standard grip anyway, but I've generally been playing just a little bit further down the mallet and with my top hand sort of wrapped around the mallet. So now what I've done is just have my top hand on top of the mallet.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bit more of my thumb over the top of it. Right, I'm being told we are going to swap sessions.
Ah,
Now I'm not sure what that means.
it probably means we can bow out.
We may be
And
bowing
say
out.
goodbye.
Not even sure if they're recording anything at the moment. What's going on here?
Where's the camera gone?
Noha's on the phone saying I've played the unluckiest shot in my life.
Yep.
Which, I mean, what she needs to take away from this is she's actually played really, really well in the match.
Yeah.
It's just one shot's gone badly.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
she needs to regroup.
There's not much to choose between them, but if I had to put money on one or the other, I think my money would be on Noha.
Yeah.
And I saw her play earlier in the week, and she was fabulous in that game. Can't remember who she was playing, but she was very good.
Yeah, I don't think she'll let this get on top of her. I think she'll be okay.
Yeah.
Just trying to find the standings in the blocks. A few of these Egyptians have just been a little bit slower to get going and get started. Yeah, Maha's on 1 win so far. Oh, they're in this really difficult block. We've got Begonia El-Zabaru from Spain.
Who's handy.
Very, very experienced player as well. She's on 4 out of 4, beating
Wow.
the top 2 seeds.
Yeah.
Virginia Arney, the Australian, she's won
Solid.
3
Yeah.
out of 4, and a couple of game losses was 7-6, so massively competitive. Glynis Davies, who I can tell you is a lovely, lovely person, she's on 2 wins.
Okay, so Maha might not get through if she loses this.
So Maha's in a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
If she loses this, she will be praying there's some way that she can find a playoff to get through, because 2 might get you a playoff.
Right.
But yeah, she really needs to win this. She will probably win her last match. Not necessarily, but the Mexicans not had any wins yet.
Is that the same block Vanessa's in?
Yes.
Yeah, you see, for a bottom ranked player, she's really quite good.
Yeah, she's had a few 7-6s.
Yeah, she's had quite a few 7s, games that have gone to 3, and I've watched her play a bit.
Yeah, I think she's quite unlucky not to have picked up on that.
Yeah, young, fairly new player, and I think we'll see more of her.
Well, hopefully she'll just be soaking up the knowledge there.
Yep, I think so. We're still, it looks like they're taking a bit of a break.
We're moving to lawn 2. I think, oh no, maybe that.
got your Hi everyone, thanks for listening for session 2. We're now going to switch over for session 3. Hopefully your commentators will stay where they are to come into the third game. So we'll see you shortly. Croquet England YouTube /@Croquet England. See you shortly.